I am coming to you guys from the heart of Lebanon, folks. Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. Long live the people of Iran, the sovereign nation of Iran and the people of Iran. We salute you. We are with you during this Israeli harassment campaign. As usual, folks, on this podcast, we are forced to talk about and reckon with the existence of Israel and the constant shit they're putting us and other countries in the region through. Say hello to Nata, folks. She's here. I tricked her to sit in here. I put her on the blankie. Maki's busy playing with his ball. So I don't know if he's going to be joining us today. And Nata does not really want to stay put. But, oh, there's look how tiny she is compared to Maki. She's so small. How's it going, everybody? This is a very unorganized stream. I am coming to you kind of last minute here. It's kind of late. It's 10:30 p.m. here in Lebanon. Hope you guys are doing good. For you guys who are just joining us for the first time, we're a Lebanese podcast / stream. We come to you guys 4 to 5 times a week, live, right here from Lebanon, using my phone's 4G internet. If you guys would like to support us, you can do so on Patreon. Here's a link. You can find a tier that's right for you. You can also support this channel by becoming a member, a channel member, right here on YouTube. Become a Do Not Warrior. You can also engage in the live chat. Whatever super chats you throw our way, go to support the channel, pay the crew, fund my brand new streaming PC that I am building, which should theoretically be ready tomorrow, folks. You guys have been helping me fund my streaming PC because I'm gonna be doing streaming full time, and I'm using a MacBook M1 Air that I've been using for like 4 years. It's gonna explode every time we live stream. You guys have noticed some stuttering sometimes. That should all be solved with a brand new PC. So we very much appreciate you. But you guys don't have to throw any money our way to support us. You guys can just make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, engage in the live chat, engage in the comments. We love you all. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting us, for letting us do this. We're going to be chilling tonight. We're going to be just reacting to some war stuff. There was a lot of things on Twitter that I've been gathering some videos to watch. And then I want to watch one of the latest Piers Morgan interviews where he had Sayed Dr. Morandi on. We're a fan of Mr. Morandi right here on the show. He's kind of a badass when he talks, so I kind of want to see his interaction with Piers, and I know Cenk is on there. And I think Piers Morgan just in recent weeks started to support Gaza and started calling what was happening there a genocide. Finally, after a year and a half, Piers Morgan joined the right side, and now he's right back to licking Israel's asshole and saying that they're justified in bombing Iran, all that sort of shit. So I kind of want to watch that. I like Piers Morgan, not him, the show. It's such good trash YouTube TV. He gets like the craziest fucking guests. I love people arguing online, to be honest with you guys. All that sort of shit. Thank you to everybody who's here. Let me just take a second to thank some of our lovely patrons. Our lovely patrons who recently joined. Elise Marrero, Karen Goodwin, Vince Lasagna, Jennifer Sage, Whoop Whoops, and Cara, and Unidentified Florida Man. Let me see if I missed anyone. Are there any newbies? No, that's it. Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon. We love you so much. Let us get started. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. At the end, if there's a little bit of time, we might look at some of the most recent H3 stuff, some Ethan Klein insane Instagram stories, and him and Hila, and also a little bit of him talking about the protests and flag burning. If we have time, this is going to be a long night, I think. So let's get to it, folks. Just as you guys know, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these videos already. They've been going viral on Twitter, on TikTok, all over the place. Lebanese people partying while Iranian drones make their way to Tel Aviv and Haifa. It's kind of absurd, to be honest with you guys, but I think it's kind of funny. A lot of these videos have been going viral. This one, I'm sorry, this has been shared by Jackson Hinkle. I don't mean to share any Jackson Hinkle. Nata, you doing good? Nata's looking at what Maki's up to over there. How's it going, Nata? So this is actually from a passenger airplane. This is an airline passenger over Saudi Arabia captured the launch of ballistic missiles from Iran heading towards Israel. This looks pretty good. Let me just switch out the audio, actually. Excuse me, fellas. Let me switch to Nata here. I'm going to move the audio to my TV. That way there's a little bit less echo that way, I think. A little bit less echo. Sorry, I can't see the chat for some reason. Oh, I need to play my video. How's everybody doing? 100 of you guys are joining us on this Tuesday night. Okay, back to the video. And if anyone's watching from Iran, hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are good. We love you so much. thank you for being here with us. This looks kind of crazy, though, I gotta say.
Whoa.
Like, in terms of visuals, this is insane, bro. Kind of scary, like surreal as shit, man. This is some like sci-fi movie stuff, bro. That's crazy, man. Oh my god, bro. Like, war is horrible. War is frightening. It's disgusting. People die. I fucking hate war. I will never support war. But man, does it create some beautiful imagery. This is kind of nice looking. It's just very scary. It's like, it makes you feel small. And it makes life feel very fleeting. And it makes the world feel very fragile. That at any moment, some fucking psychopath behind a button can shoot something like this, but also create a view for the ages. And yes, I am using Firefox, you bastards. Thank you for the recommendation, Nour.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot to tweet about this. But that looks kind of fucking nice, bro. Like, I gotta say. That's pretty dope. Give me a sec. Let me tweet about this, folks. Let's help this episode get out there a little bit, shouldn't we? How's everybody doing in the chat? We got Muhammad in here. We got Leba. We got Artful Cadence. We got Choki. You guys doing good? Sorry, this is going to be very unprofessional, folks. This is a very chill stream. It's almost 11 p.m. over here, folks. It's almost 11 p.m. I'm out here because Chris Kunzler is on break. I'm doing Chris Kunzler's work. Much love to Chris Kunzler. Would love to collaborate with Chris Kunzler sometime. What do you guys think about that? Also, me and Uninformed Leftist we owe each other a collaboration. Let me just pop this real quick on the Twitters. You guys want to see me on Twitter? Here we go. Watch me tweet this out. No. I don't follow Jackson Hinkle, by the way, okay? I don't know why his tweets keep fucking showing up on here. Do I follow him? No, I don't. I don't, you see? What's happening? I'm live reacting to war footage and Piers Morgan being a Zionist shill. Boom, boom, boom. Post. There we go, folks. We just got the episode 3,000 more viewers by me tweeting this out just now. Jackson Hinkle, thank you, Jackson, for this tweet. Iran military, from dancing Israelis to dancing Lebanese. Okay, I got a lot of these videos. So Lebanese people, as you know, we're known as the party capital of the Middle East. Oh, look at Nata, looking perfect right there. The Paris of the Middle East, etc. Well, maybe not anymore. But Lebanon is very much known for its clubbing scene. We are rabid partiers. And there's a lot of footage of people clubbing, people at weddings, with these rockets flying overhead. So let's watch a few of them. And I might have to mute some of these because you got some Michael Jackson, folks. No one wants to be defeated. Show how funky. Everybody got their phones out, bro. It's so fucking funny. Everyone went to party. Honestly, I don't go clubbing much. I do not go clubbing. I would fucking make the effort and I will go clubbing just to get one of those photo ops. I want to be standing there like this with like the fucking rockets above my head. That is the one thing that will get me to go to a nightclub, folks. What do you think, Nata? You want to join me? You want to go to a club with me? You want to go to a club? Let me just give you guys a little close-up of Natuti. Sweet little Nata. Okay, back to the Michael Jackson, folks. Beat it, beat it. Beat it. Crazy shit. There's like 6 more of these videos. This Lebanese couple got the best wedding they could have ever dreamed of. Now, whichever singer they have, or I think this is a famous song that is kind of being like, we're going to go into Haifa or whatever. I don't know if they're singing about war specifically, But these people at a wedding also are getting a special kind of fireworks. Bro, she's so focused on... Oh, I missed her. Crazy being drunk and like partying and shit and seeing that, bro. It's kind of scary too, you know what I mean? Like seeing fucking rockets in the sky. It's kind of... It's a little bit of everything. It's disturbing. It's scary. It's exciting. You know what I mean? Oh, this one got like tens of millions of views online. This went viral on fucking TikTok and everything, bro. This is a fucking guy playing the saxophone somewhere in Lebanon. This is pretty fucking badass. That's pretty fucking badass, yo. If you ask me, that's pretty fucking badass. And with the cape, like, what is he wearing? He's got the fucking cape on and the hat and the sunglasses and the fucking saxophone. Like, this is insane, bro. Again, just the two people right there filming. And I would be doing exactly what they're doing. But for once, I hate being in pictures. I am not a man, folks, to pose in front of things. I don't like posing. I'll take a photo if I'm with a loved one, maybe like two people just to like remember the moment. But like me, posing in front of things, not a thing I do often, at least not anymore. I would pose in front of the lights. I'll be like, please. I'll even ask a stranger to take the photo. I'll be, please, sir, I would love a photo. Use the good camera. Turn around, you know what I mean? Take it multiple times. I want it in horizontally, vertically, landscape, everything. I want a 360 video. The whole shebang. One more time, folks, for that guy with the saxophone. All right, that's pretty fucking dope. I think there's one more. I mean, not one. There's like millions at this point, but like one more that I've gotten here. Another Lebanese wedding. This one has a funny song, I think, as well. That I'm gonna have to pause, or else we're gonna get copyrighted. Every little thing that you say, Bro, that's fucking crazy, man. Let me mute the rest of this. We don't need to, or else I'm gonna have to keep pausing this shit. Love to see an evening on my own. There's not a soul out there. No one to hear my prayer. But yeah, folks, that's what's popping in Lebanon. We be enjoying, and like, look, I'm not gonna be. It's not like Iran has any chance of beating Israel, folks. Let's not kid ourselves here. They are putting a valiant effort. They're doing the best they can, which is just shooting a bunch of rockets that they've been stockpiling for years. But there ain't no chance in hell they can stand up to Israel, who's like been dismantling them, unfortunately, kind of like they did to Hezbollah, taking out high-ranking leaders, then they replace the leaders, then they kill the leaders. It's not been looking great. Not that, what do you think about this, the whole situation? You agree? It's not looking good, is it? Let me set up a couple things right there. And I just want to read a couple of, did I close the whole thing? Yep, I did, done did. File, new window. Sorry, folks, I know you guys are looking at the cat. I know you want to look at my pretty face. Here you go. Maki, stop moving the lights. These cats are crazy. 1 second, folks. Mikey, no more ball for you. Good. You're going to get on the blankie. Head up, go. Go get the ball. Oh, sorry, guys. Got to deal with them kitties. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Easy looking, move the camera. Wild cats, folks. Oh yeah, I was gonna read a couple of Scary updates, folks. It ain't looking too good over there in Iran. This is going to be like a general news breakdown, by the way, folks. We're trying something new here. I know news anchor, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can about Iran. The most that I like. I read Persepolis, the graphic novel. Has anyone read Persepolis? That shit's awesome. Okay. Let us. This is by Zay Squirrel. I don't know what kind of political analyst this motherfucker is, but he's been throwing some fire up on Twitter, so full disclosure, this is a squirrel that, as far as I know, a squirrel wrote this. He says, or they say, I don't know, they are going to destroy the Iranian state, nation, and people. Khamenei and others in the political leadership are going to be killed soon. Iran has failed to establish deterrence. The entire leadership is concentrated in the figure of the supreme leader, the symbol of the state. They also have made the fatal mistake of not having a successor prepared with a public presence and stature and recognition being cultivated and established many years in advance. So when they kill Khamenei, the state goes into full crisis mode immediately, and the process of its total collapse will begin. I actually kind of agree with them not having a figure after, not that I like Khamenei or anything like that, but like, for example, even Hassan Nasrallah, when he was killed by Israel, there was no really secondary figure to take over that had any sort of gravitas or any sort of like connection with the public that he had. So as when he went away, when he was killed by Israel, you kind of knew that Hezbollah would never be the same moving forward. So this kind of reminds me of that. A factional war will erupt in the political leadership class to choose a successor, dividing them when unity is essential. The divisions will reverberate throughout the broader public and will be already exacerbated by the activation of CIA, Mossad, MI6 proxy forces. The process of breaking up the Iranian nation and people along ethnic lines, a project that has been worked on for decades, will go into overdrive. Kurds, Azeri, Balochi, and others will suddenly have their ready-made freedom fighters who will begin their liberation movements. Simultaneously, old and new proxy groups masquerading as this or that ideological faction will announce themselves. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, new true Shia who will do what the IRGC and army was unable to, yet somehow only seem to attack state entities. Like vultures, US, Israeli, NATO, Gulf puppet regimes, from the Saudis to the UAE and Turkey, will, as they did in Syria, fund and arm their own pet groups to try to gain more influence and grab territory for themselves. Meanwhile, right after the assassination of Khamenei, the US will join in the bombing campaign. Perhaps the UK and France too. They will hit all the essential military and economic infrastructure, like you saw in Syria, after they overthrew Assad and Libya before it. Iran is a nation of 90 million people. Tens of millions of lives are going to be destroyed, mass exodus of refugees, mass murder and death, total chaos and anarchy. And the Zionist Western media and political class will salivate over it like hyenas. Yet another nation and people destroyed for having dared resist our hegemony. So I think this is very fucking well said. Muhammad says not gonna happen. I don't know, man. It definitely ain't looking good. As cathartic as it can be to see some of the, Iranian rockets hitting Israel and the people getting, Israel getting a taste of its own medicine. Ultimately, the best Iran could do is fire some rockets at Israel. Israel has the most advanced weapons military technology in the world, provided by the US, unlimited funding from Europe. They have cover by the Saudis, from everyone. Like, everyone's helping Israel, bro. Like, it's kind of hopeless. I'm not trying to be defeatist, but just look at what happened here with Hezbollah. We just got to look at kind of what happened, and knowing that the Israelis are insane, Netanyahu will do anything to stay in power. Power to the resistance, you know what I mean? Let China get involved. Hey, China, we need some help. Pakistan, you know what I mean? Everybody start helping out. But it's looking pretty bleak. We got to be real with ourselves, folks. Right here, breaking. Megatron Trump says he's looking for a complete give up by Iran. So not even a ceasefire. They just want they want them to completely give up and capitulate. This is a pretty good report. Let's just check here. Also, just kind of like they were doing with Hezbollah in Lebanon, breaking. The Israeli Defense Forces say they have killed the chief of the Islamic Republic of Iran's armed forces. Ali Shadmani had only been in the position for a few days. He was appointed after his predecessor was killed by the Israeli military just days earlier. And this is exactly the MO of what they were doing here in Lebanon with Hezbollah, killing high-ranking leaders, long-time leaders and powerful figures, and then they would get replaced, and then they would get killed as well. They would kill the replacements of the replacements of the replacements. It became kind of insane. There's definitely, there was a mole in Hezbollah, multiple moles. They had sources. The same thing can probably be said in Iran. There are a bunch of traitors that they're finding, and Mossad agents who are giving up positions. Israel has been planning this for fucking years. They know where everybody is. They've probably got some moles and some rats in there. North Star Radio is in the chat, folks, saying if China and Pakistan choose to assist Iran, it's Jover. I hope, dude, if China, all they need is China. Forget Pakistan, bro. China alone could win this whole thing, but they wouldn't get involved. A YouTuber made a video defending you. His name is Rezi. Do Not Worry Podcast. Rezi. Oh, I'll look that up. That's cool. Defending me from what? Rezi. If someone could send me like the full name of the video, that way maybe we can check it out on stream. George, not George, says God bless Israel. Not George, I'm going to give you 1 second to tell me that you're joking, or else I'm going to need one of the mods to kick his booty. Oh, fucking Haley D is not fucking around, bro. Haley D is not fucking around. Haley, we salute you, our queen. Okay. What else do we got in stow? What other tweets? Whoopsie. Sorry, this is my, you guys are seeing my list of tweets, essentially. I got a whole bunch of tweets ready for y'all to go. Wait, did I close the fucking page? What's happening here? Yep, looks like I did. Oh, no, there it is. Sorry, guys. Everything will be solved when I get the new PC. Everything. And this is, I think this is outdated at this point, but this is 224 people killed in Israeli strikes, most of them civilians. Becky Anderson on Twitter.
Screams echo across the ordinary streets of Tehran. The horrors in Iran are harder to find video of, but it's hard to watch when you do. A deputy foreign minister posting this damage to his ministry. Several civilians injured, he said. Israel's defense minister clarified Monday he meant no harm to Tehran's residents when he said earlier the city would burn unless Iran's missiles stop. But many have seen flames already and are fleeing the capital. Nothing like this before in their lifetimes.
Yeah, insane. Trump sent out a tweet like, hey, evacuate Tehran, and then you got millions of people trying to leave
their lifetimes.
The fucking city, bro.
In the western city of Kermanshah, state media posted images of the intensive care unit of a hospital damaged. CNN has reached out to the IDF for comment, and it's unclear if anyone was hurt. But numbers Iran's health ministry have given speak of just how wide-scale the Israeli onslaught has been. Over 200 dead, 90% civilians since Friday, they said.
I know with Gaza, numbers like, we hear 10,000, 20,000, 60,000 dead. The actual number is over 200,000 dead. So when you hear 200 dead, it doesn't maybe sound that crazy anymore after the genocide that we've been witnessing on our phones in 4K for the last 2 years almost. But 200 fucking people is insane. One person is more than enough. Killing one person from a sovereign nation is enough to normally start a war. Israel has already murdered over 220 people in Iran, bro. Fucking Iran, man. Like my sister's partner is from Iran, and they've been like, you know what I mean? Like Iran, like everyone, like it doesn't matter where people are from, but like it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's a sovereign fucking nation, bro, with fucking beautiful culture and cuisine and music and art and all that sort of thing. It's a civilization that spans fucking thousands of years. So for Israel, a fucking piece of shit, belligerent fucking attack dog of a country to just bomb them willy-nilly so that one little piece of shit motherfucker can stay in power after they've already bombed the shit out of Palestine, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen. It's just fucking crazy, bro. 200 people.
But each number, its own story. Many from the youth that the West sees as the hope for Iran's post-Ayatollah future. This is Tara Hajmiri, dancing at the dentist, killed alongside her family, said state media.
Oh my God, bro. What a little angel, man. What's her name again?
Tara Hajmiri.
Tara Hajmiri. Tara Hajmiri.
Is Tara Hajmiri, dancing at the dentist, killed alongside her family, said state media. Also, Nilufar Galevand, big in gyms and social media, age 31, killed alongside her parents. And Pania Abbasi, a poet, age 23, killed with her parents and brother. Her poem, The Extinguished Star, reads, "You and I will come to an end, somewhere. The most beautiful poem in the world falls quiet."
Like, what the fuck, bro? I'm sick of seeing dead kids, bro. Killed by Israel. Like, how long can the world let this fucking happen, bro? There's only so much death and, like, adorable little beautiful children, like, dancing and singing. You know what I mean? That I can fucking accept as a person. And not want to stand up to this shit, bro. And then people don't understand why some people are taking pleasure in rockets falling on Israel, bro. Look at the pain that they're causing these people and these fucking families, bro. How many more of these scenes can we see? And then how can you not lose your mind? How can you not scream? How can you not cry? How can you not, you know? You're just expected to fucking act normal and not get angry. How do you not get angry? How does that make someone not get angry? All right. It's just fucked up. I hadn't seen that video. I don't vet most of the videos that I watch, so I was not prepared to see that little girl dancing right there. And like, what can we do? You feel so powerless. You feel so fucking useless, bro. You feel so useless. Okay. Remember the pager attack that happened here in Lebanon? Some motherfucker. By the way, Firefox is working so much better with Twitter. Look at that. This fucking sick fuck motherfucker is threatening like a pager-like attack in Iran that makes the pager thing look like nothing, apparently.
Dust settles. You're going to see some surprises on Thursday night and Friday that will make the beeper operation almost seem simple.
Sorry, the audio is very low on this video. He says on Thursday or Friday, you're going to see a few surprises that make the beeper operation look like just a small little simple operation.
Pulled off a number of surprises. When the dust settles, you're going to see some surprises on Thursday night and Friday that will make the beeper operation almost seem simple.
Mother, look at his fucking smile. Look at her smile. Oh yes, let me. You guys can't see. Look at the fucking. He's so pleased. Dumbass motherfucking idiot face. Look at her. Oh, really? The beeper operation will be like a simple operation. Oh, god damn it. Yep. Crazy shit. So I got a whole bunch of tweets that we're gonna be watching together, and then we're gonna get to some Piers Morgan. We don't have to watch all of this. Okay, Emmanuel Macron gave the French position. I'm gonna open a whole bunch of tweets. I think my computer's gonna be fine. I've been scared to open too many tweets at once because that's been exploding the laptop. Again, folks, brand new. I'm building a brand new streaming PC. Might be ready tomorrow, so I'll be setting that shit up tomorrow. You guys have helped me by being super generous with us. Got some awesome videos right here. Okay, violin. Oh, this is beautiful. This made me cry today. Around Anchor. Ooh, and then we got some fucking cringe-ass Zionist women and men to react to. Okay, let's have some fun, folks. Let's go. I got a lot of fucking tweets. Let's see what Emmanuel Macron, French president who got smacked by his wife, had to say. Bahad, folks, just became a member of the channel. Thank you so much for joining, Bahad. We love you so much. PC building time. Okay, let's see what this motherfucker has to say.
La position française, elle est assez simple. Nous sommes pour la paix, la sécurité et la stabilité pour tous dans la région. Nous ne voulons
We stand for peace, okay, and stability in the region, cool.
pas d'un Proche et Moyen-Orient avec un Iran qui soit doté de l'arme nucléaire. Nous ne voulons pas d'un Proche et Moyen-Orient où Gaza soit durablement occupé, des civils maltraités. Et nous croyons que la solution et la stabilité, c'est un Israël vivant en paix à côté d'un État palestinien, vivant en paix et en sécurité et ayant reconnu l'existence et les droits.
Hey, comment tu veux de la paix si l'Israël ne fait que niquer les pays autour d'elle, espèce d'enculé de ta race? Okay, let's go back.
La position française, elle est assez simple. Nous sommes pour la paix, la sécurité et la stabilité pour tous dans la région. Nous ne voulons pas d'un Proche et Moyen-Orient avec un Iran qui soit doté de l'arme nucléaire.
Why not, bro? Why can Israel have fucking nukes? Why can Israel have nukes if if Iran can't have nukes, bro. Everybody should have nukes. Either no one has nukes, either no country should have nukes, or everybody should have nukes running around, bro. Nukes in your pockets. Everyone's cell phone should be a nuke.
Nous ne voulons pas d'un proche et Moyen-Orient où Gaza soit durablement occupé, des civils maltraités, et nous croyons que la solution et la stabilité, c'est un Israël vivant en paix à côté d'un État palestinien, vivant en paix et en sécurité, et ayant reconnu l'existence et les droits d'Israël à se défendre dans la région. C'est ça ce que nous poursuivons. Et je crois que c'est honnêtement une perspective honnête, cohérente et j'espère réaliste. La position française...
Cuck! I'm kidding. We got a Dreadful Utopia, who's been a member for 3 months, says it feels like we're living in an upside-down world. All we can do is stay strong and speak out peace and love to the people of Iran and Palestine. Much love, Dreadful Utopia, exactly. And the best we can do is just have each other, essentially. Okay, fuck you, Macron, you useless little bitch. Okay, this is insane, folks. So Mike Huckabee, okay, who is the U.S. ambassador to Israel, okay, sent this message to Donald Trump, who then shared this on his like social media. So this is like a real message, okay? This is how fucking insane this all is. This is like a religious mission at this point. They think Trump is some kind of fucking god. Let's fucking read this insane shit, folks. I'm not kidding you. Mr. President, God spared you in Butler, Pennsylvania to be the most consequential president in a century, maybe ever. The decisions on your shoulders I would not want to be made by anyone else. You have many voices speaking to you, sir, but there is only one voice that matters. His voice. I am your appointed servant in this land and am available for you, but he's calling himself Trump's servant, folks. How fucking nutty is that? His voice. I am your appointed servant in this land and am available for you, but I do not try to get in your presence often because I trust your instincts, Mr. President. No president in my lifetime has been in a position like yours. Not since Truman in 1945. I don't reach out to persuade you, only to encourage you. I believe you will hear from heaven, and that voice is far more important than mine or anyone else's. You sent me to Israel to be your eyes, ears, and voice, and to make sure our flag flies above our embassy. I think my accent is changing now. My job is to be the last one to leave. I sound like I'm from New Orleans now. This is fucking nasty, bro. My job is to be the last one to leave. I will not abandon this post. Our flag will not come down. You did not seek this moment. This moment saw you. It is my honor to serve you. Mike Huckabee. This is what you call ultimate. Yeah, someone's saying this is Mike Huckabee. Hat guy calls him Mike Huckabee. This is, folks, this is ultimate cuck behavior right there, folks. Basically glazing the president, telling him he's the chosen one, calling him a god, essentially. What the fuck is wrong with America, bro? What the fuck is wrong with this country? Separate church and state. Donald Trump ain't no fucking god, bro. I mean, I get it. He survived the gunshot. That was kind of badass. That was kind of cool. And then being like, raising his fist. Even I thought that was cool. And I knew the election was over when that fucking happened, by the way. I was like, oh my God, bro. How can fucking Biden the mummy, at that point Biden was still candidate, I think. I'm like, how the fuck can he beat that? But anyways, this is insane shit. This is ridiculous shit. Anyways, okay, this is a cool video. This is an Iranian woman
your love.
denouncing sick Iranian traitor Zionists. So she's basically talking to like Iranians who are supporting Israel in their bombing campaign of Iran.
Love for Iran and Iranian people. An example of how hate will rot your brain from the inside out are Iranian Zionists. Your hatred for the Iranian government outweighs your love for Iran and Iranian people so much that if Mahsa, Nikah, Hadis had been killed by an Israeli bomb, you would sit here justifying it because you are sitting here and justifying it. And that makes you sick. You're literally sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of Iranians right now, people from Iran who are like living abroad, who are like, yeah, we support America and Israel in like their campaign. It's like the equivalent of Lebanese people living in France or living in America supporting Israel bombing the shit out of Hezbollah. You can have disagreements with Hezbollah. You can be against Hezbollah, but don't support a racist apartheid genocidal state bombing your own country. Deal with your own matters internally. You don't like your leadership, you don't like your government, find a way to fix it from the inside. Don't fucking cheer on a genocidal criminal fucking nation murdering your own civilians, okay? Trying to be some kind of fucking cuck to international countries that don't give a shit about you. Tetrafun, all the way from Turkey, gifted 10 Do Not Worry memberships. Thank you so much, Tetrafun. That's so fucking sweet. We love you so much. No Name has just handed us $5 and says, this is the $5 I owe you. Well, No Name, you don't owe me $5. He bought a comic from me last weekend, and now, what a sweetheart. And Nogzolotl, folks, $2, says, America is currently falling apart as we speak. The whole world is falling apart, Nogzolotl, but yeah, America as well, you know, the protests and all that shit. Trump is proven even worse than we thought. Kind of crazy. There's another great video from an Iranian woman who's also making the same point as this one, who's basically like, yo, all of you Iranians that are cheering this on, who are basically the only Iranians that Hila and Ethan Klein would support. You know for a fact, now the only Iranians that they're going to talk about on their like Instagram stories and their podcasts are like Iranians who think that Iran should be bombed by Israel. And we should thank Israel for bombing Iran. This lady makes a great point. Her name, I think, is Abir. She says to idiots who believe the U.S. and genocidal state will free them, look at Iraq, look at Afghanistan, look at Libya.
There are Iranians, including members of my family, I've been told, who are currently cheering on Israel, Netanyahu, the U.S., and Trump. And I don't think you guys would have taken this stance if you knew the history and the aftermath of the Iraq War. They were Iraqis that were pro-U.S. invasion. They were fully in Iraq cheering on the U.S. military because they hated Saddam Hussein. They thought U.S. was going to come in, take out Saddam Hussein, and then just give Iraq back to the Iraqi people. They thought they were just going to, U.S. was just going to...
Bro, I remember the Iraq War. I was like fucking 12 or 13 years old, but I remember like a lot of Arabs being like, yeah, that's fucking cool. The U.S. is going to come in and like fix shit. Like there are Arabs that actually think this. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they were maybe naive to think that. At this point, no one thinks that U.S. intervention is any good, except you must be like extremely fucking idiotic at this point. At least after what you've witnessed in Gaza, anything involving Israel should be fucking seen as a fucking huge red flag right from the get-go.
And be like, here you go, have your country back. And then the Iraqis were going to like take it and build a beautiful, prosperous Iraq. How did that work out? Over 1 million Iraqis died in Iraq as a direct result of war. A couple million more died as an indirect result of war. What's an indirect result of war? Say you're sick, but your nearest hospital was bombed. So you cannot go to the hospital, so you die. That's an indirect result of war. Millions of people died in Iraq because of indirect results of war.
That's fucking crazy. 1 second, I don't mean to interrupt. This is extremely important stuff, but we got 2 cats on the cam. You know the double cat cam. Here, we've got 2 cats. Maki is making biscuits while staring at his master, right in the eye, as if he wants to jump me. And Nata, both staring at the wall. I kind of want to turn this around. Oh, little Maki, let me try to see if I can spin this around. Give you better. Oh, actually, fuck it. Fuck it. Maki's all cozy. Maki's all cozy. You guys can't see his little face. You can't see his little face. Okay, back to. Sorry.
So if you're cheering on war right now, know that the aftermath, the result, is not going to be a beautiful democratic Iran where all women can wear miniskirts. That's not what you're getting. You're getting modern day Iraq, and that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, we just want women to be free and not have to be veiled. Yeah, so you bomb the living shit out of them. That's your solution. If you don't like Islam and you don't want these women to be Muslim for some reason, you think you're going to bomb them into submission. They're going to fucking love you for bombing them, right? You just destroyed their school. You just killed their daughter. You just killed their cousin. You just destroyed their apartment. They love you now. When has that worked? When has that fucking worked? When has bombing and invading and destroying a fucking country and killing a bunch of civilians ended up fucking working? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. It's all about manufacturing weapons and fucking selling them. That's all it's about, bro. And fucking stealing resources.
20 years of war, millions of people dead just so we can be where Iraq is right now, maybe. And let's be honest, it's not even going to be that because Iran has more cheap oil than Iraq. You think US and Israel are going to invade Iran, get rid of the Ayatollahs, and then hand over the keys to us? You're funny. But they're only killing military commanders right now. They're killing military commanders by bombing civilian infrastructure right now.
They literally killed a nuclear scientist in an apartment building. He lived on like the 4th floor, so they bombed like the 3 apartments that were above him and all the apartments underneath him, killing like 20 people to kill a nerd. They killed a nerd and killed a whole fucking building along with him, bro. That's how they're killing these generals. And the media, the US media and the international media has the fucking balls to call that a targeted strike. Oh, they hit one building and they managed to kill the guy they wanted to kill. Yeah, they killed 30 other fucking people. You motherfuckers, you bloodthirsty fucking freaks.
Where do you think a full-fledged war is going? And if you haven't taken the time to actually consider what you're advocating for, let me paint you an image for a second. Do you have any men ages 18 to 32 in your family that are doing their mandatory military service right now? They're dead. Your hospitals? Bombed because they were treating the injured military commanders. Your universities? Bombed because they were producing the new generation of nuclear engineers. You like vacationing in the north? Well, say goodbye to your villa because they're going to bomb the ports. You're annoyed by the rolling blackouts right now? Prepare to have no electricity ever because they're going to bomb the energy facilities. Israel wouldn't do that. They wouldn't kill civilians. We'll just hang white flags outside of our window to showcase that we're civilians and we have nothing to do with this government. Israel shot their own hostages at point-blank range in Gaza while they were waving a white flag and speaking Hebrew.
That's true. And by the way, I heard today that there's already internet connection problems in Iran, and Israel is already starting to interfere with the internet connection in Iran, trying to limit internet access for Iranians so that they can limit their access to information, etc. They just want to make their lives a living fucking hell, which is fucking crazy. Oh, by the way,
please be serious. Like, fuck the Iranian government. They can all go die in a ditch as far as I care. But my people, sometimes the enemy of our enemy is still our enemy. So maybe the other country's fascists can't help us get rid of our own fascism because it's the same ideology.
Exactly. And being against Israel in the war in Iran, being against Israel attacking Iran, doesn't mean I support the Iranian government, but I support the Iranian people's independence to make their own decisions and take their own actions against their own government, not for a belligerent fucking country that loves meddling and bombing other countries and genociding people to fucking interfere for their own benefits and their own interests. That's what I'm against. Let me catch up on some super chats. Haley D, our queen, sends $10, very generous, and says, oh, if you ask me, there was fuckery afoot in Pennsylvania that day. Cartilage doesn't grow back. He was cut by shrapnel from the prompter, and the Secret Service never would have let him get up either. Look, that whole assassination attempt, I don't know. They're saying Iran was behind it, which is fucking insane. Imagine Iran hiring like some fucking... whoever the fuck tried to kill Trump, like some fucking, like horrible shooter, you know what I mean? They would at least get someone competent. They got some incompetent white dude to kill the president. Like, I don't think so. Iran doesn't fuck that way. Not that I would know. Again, no political violence, folks. That's a horrible. Like, never should have happened. But like, you know, I don't think a government would be that incompetent with their attempt. Bahad, who just became a member, just donated $10 as well. Very generous. Says, the sad reality is that I'm not sure if this region will ever be given a chance. They don't want any sovereignty. If there is, it needs to get dismantled. Dude, I don't, not to be a defeatist like someone called me in the chat earlier, but our region can't get its shit together. There's too much meddling from the outside. There's too much money. There's too much corruption. You know what I mean? People are easily bought, and some countries are too poor. So like when the leaders are offered cash, they like fucking can't say no. There's a lot of fucking factors. It's crazy. But yeah, it doesn't look too, right now. Things look the bleakest they've had in a long fucking time. Given what's happened in Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, and now this, like things don't look good. And it looks like Israel is going to have way more power in the region, unfortunately. This is Tehran during attacks. A musician, this made me kind of tear up today. This is Tehran during the attacks. A musician playing the violin in the street for his neighbors so they don't hear the explosions. It's so cinematic, soulful, and so Iranian. Let's watch this. So beautiful, to be honest with you. all this beautiful culture, these beautiful people. You can disagree with their leaders. You can disagree. You don't have to be a fan of Islam. No one's asking you to convert to Islam. But to punish a whole beautiful civilization and to just stand by again and provide cover for the Israeli government. Bob Vorn sends $2 and says, keep talking about resistance and falafel fund grows. There we go, Bob. I'm gonna get the biggest falafel sandwich with all that money. It's crazy. Look at these little angels resting, being all adorable. I want to wake up. We're gonna get to Piers Morgan, folks. I know you guys are fiending for some Piers Morgan. So while this Iranian anchor was live on TV, they got bombed. And this is what she was saying. Again, you don't have to agree, folks, with what they're saying. You don't have to be a fan of Khomeini. You don't have to be a simp of the Iranian government to admit that this lady is kind of badass and this is kind of G. And while being bombed, she's fucking delivering this fucking badass speech.
موضوعات مختلف خیلی متشکر از اینکه با ما همراه هستید آنچه که ملاحظه می‌کنید تجاوز رژیم صهیونیستی به خاک جمهوری اسلامی ایران و منطقه صدا و سیماست آنچه که ملاحظه کردید تجاوز آشکار رژیم صهیونیستی به صدا و سیمای جمهوری اسلامی ایران است معاونت سیاسی صدا و سیمای جمهوری اسلامی ایران هدف حمله متجاوز قرار گرفت الله اکبر الله اکبر الله اکبر مردم شریف ایران آگاه باشید آنچه که دیدید صدایی که شنیدید صدای متجاوز به خاک وطن صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت
I don't care whether you agree with someone politically or not, when you are under attack, when your people are under attack, you are at this point like righteous in almost everything. When your country and your people are under attack by a foreign invader and you've done nothing to cause this attack and they're literally just fucking doing it unprovoked for their own fucking benefits, bro, you're a fucking badass. And I fucking empathize and I sympathize with anyone who's fucking a victim of Israel, bro, no matter what. Always remember that. Sorry for interrupting her.
متجاوز به خاک وطن صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت است آنچه که ملاحظه کردید صدایی که شنیدید فضای غبارآلود استادیوم
Bro, I'm not even Iranian and this shit's making me tear up, bro. Iranians are my people, bro. I don't care, man. They're my people. All you browns, all you brown motherfuckers, we are together with. And by the way, this lady came back on live on air 10 minutes later. 10 minutes later, this fucking G was back on the air live 10 minutes later. Let's just give her due. Let's watch those final few moments one more time. Such a badass, bro. I love it. Aggressor against the homeland. When you use the word, we use the word homeland very often. You know what I mean? Homeland, the homeland. Oh, you're going to the motherland, you're going to the homeland. When you use it in a context of when you're getting bombed, all of a sudden your country, you feel so much closer to your country. When we were being bombed by Israel just a few months ago, and like the war was at its peak, this really becomes your homeland. Then you start asking yourself questions you normally wouldn't ask, like, am I willing to die for my country? How much do I really love this place? Am I willing to fight for this place? Am I willing to stay? And I had made the decision at the time, even being someone with an American passport, and I could have left, and everyone was urging me to leave. I was like, I'm staying in Lebanon, no matter what. I'm not leaving. That's me accepting my fate. That's me accepting that I'm ready to die in my homeland. Not that I was in any direct danger. But with Israel, you never knew. It was right as their bombing campaign had started, and I'm like, are they going to turn all of Lebanon into Gaza or just like the south and like whatever? But so seeing people in these situations talking about their homeland hits fucking different because Their lives are at stake. And their lives are at stake for simply being from their homeland and in their homeland. And for defending their homeland or defending their neighbors.
متجاوز به خاک وطن، صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت است. آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم.
Crazy shit, bro. Oh, so this lady, I have found the most obnoxious lady on earth. This was shared by Henry Ford. I'm going to get her name. Her name is Einav Avizamir. Let's open her account. Einav Avizamir. Okay? She is some obnoxious Israeli lady. Look at this fucking video, bro.
Oh, you said you wanted the nuke. We heard you wanted to get cooked. For the first time in Israel's history, we woke up yesterday to a war siren.
Okay, we have a siren. This took over my phone.
If someone rises to kill you, well, rise earlier. Iran was rushing towards 15 nuclear bombs. They started to get armed with ballistics to go. And we're like, no. We were asleep during your...
And we're like, no. This fucking lady. There's people dying, bro. There's her own people are dying. Israelis are dying. Iranians are dying. She's out here being fucking sassy on TikTok. She's out here making sassy TikToks. Zionist fucking freak.
Rises to kill you? Well, rise earlier. Iran was rushing towards 15 nuclear bombs. They started to get armed with ballistics to go. And we're like, no. We were asleep during your project on October 7th.
Ballistics to go.
Not anymore. This is the most ballistics to go. And we're like, no. We were asleep during your project on October 7th, but not anymore. This is the most moral thing you can do. Not only for the Jews, also for you, soy-sipping Europe. We started with their military...
This is the bombing Iran is the most moral thing you can do, not only for the Jews, but for soy-sipping Europe. Okay.
Headquarters, then the Revolutionary Guard seniors, then their nuclear scientists, a sip of their ballistic missiles, and their nuclear weapon facilities, one by one. It's humiliating, I get it. I mean, you thought you were the masters of manipulation. Seems like Trump and Netanyahu gave you a lesson. I mean, you were sure you fooled the United States. But
such a pick-me, bro. Trump. Imagine being a Trump and Netanyahu fan. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? What a horrible person. I hate her so much, bro. Imagine a whole country of this. A whole country of people just like that. An entire country. My neighbors. Oh. شو عملنا؟ الله شو عملنا تنستاهل هيك جيران؟ شو عملنا يا أخي؟ إلنا بشرفك إلي.
Headquarters, then the Revolutionary Guard seniors, then their nuclear scientists, a sip of their ballistic missiles, and their nuclear weapon facilities, one by one. It's humiliating, I get it. I mean, you thought you were the masters of manipulation. Seems like Trump and Netanyahu gave you a lesson. I mean, you were sure you fooled the United States. But what happened in the end? Trump just helped us to get you tucked in your bed. And then we came after you threatened us for so long. And all we needed was a hole in your wall. Maybe you should call someone. Maybe you should call a medium or something. There must be someone to help you. What about Hizb Boom Boom? No? And to think you trained them
Hizb Boom Boom. Talking about Hezbollah.
Exactly for this moment. They were all the protectors of the regime and the nuke. But what can we do? Send us the last beep. They're not so...
They were the okay, I'm sorry. Look, people keep making this argument that like Hezbollah was trained to defend Iran. Hezbollah is like a fucking militia. What is Hezbollah all the way from Lebanon going to do to like stop an Israeli aggression on Iran, bro? They can shoot some fucking rockets into Israel and like be a distraction. They were never gonna defend. Iran has its own fucking standing army with fucking jets and shit. Okay, they're trying to build nukes. Hezbollah is like a little local paramilitary. You know what I mean? They're powerful. They're fucking great. They defeated ISIS. They fucking defeated the shit out of Israel in 2006 and gave them the fucking hardest time imaginable when they tried to invade Lebanon this time again, when they were trying to come into the villages in the south. Granted, but like everyone that's like, oh, Hezbollah was supposed to defend you. No, they're not. They're supposed to maybe like help out a little bit, send some rockets and like distract Israeli military while they're dealing with Iran. But like that's the most of it, bro. That's it. They're not getting involved. Now they ate shit from Israel like in this last war, but like this argument that like, you know, they were dismantled and now Iran is defenseless. Hezbollah is not Iran's military. Hezbollah is here to defend Lebanese territory.
Them exactly for this moment. They were all the protectors of the regime and the nuke. But what can we do? Send us the last beep. They're not so cooperative. So who's going to help you? Maybe the Houthis with one missile a day? Iraqi militias? Oh well. Maybe you should try Hamas. Good luck with that. Oh, they can't fight if they can't take their women and children to sacrifice. You see, we might be tiny compared to...
Oh my god, bro. They can't help themselves. Being fucking racist pieces of shit. They even want to make human shield jokes. Like, they've genocided 200,000 Palestinians. They still can't fucking let it go.
To Iran. But even tiny can get the job done. We are prepared for a long war. We can take your missiles attack all day long. You forgot who you're fighting. You're fighting the Jews. All of our biggest enemies are not dots in history.
Kathy.
You hear this roar? You hear this sound? It's gonna shake.
Kathy Doyle is saying she sent me... Nour, if you're online, can you check Kathy's link on Discord and send it to me on WhatsApp? Because I might struggle... Every time I open Discord, it needs to download a whole bunch of updates and stuff, and I don't want to slow down my computer. So Nour, if you're here... Could you please send me that link that Kathy Doyle sent?
Your throne and bring your regime down.
Let me catch up on some super chats real quick. Yeah, this lady's fucking horrendous. Thomas Jerome Newton says that Lebanese sax player cooked. Thank you so much, Thomas Jerome. He did cook. He was pretty fucking badass. Also, Thomas Jerome Newton again with 5,500 CLP says, I can already hear the voice from the Charlie Brown teacher before listening to that nag. Yeah, you can... it's as bad as you can imagine. Haley D sends another $2 and says, oh, look, the lobotomite escaped the hospital. She is pretty fucking crazy. I have another video of this lady, folks, coming to you. And Tetrafun says, sorry for my language, but for my friends visiting their families in Iran, and they cannot get back to Turkey where they lived, no curse is enough. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tetrafun. And Thomas Jerome Noon, with another 5,500, says, same tactics and context as the Ukrainian counterattack, by the way. I wouldn't know, to be honest with you. Oh, she's admitting that the drone attack was to neutralize the forces that would support Gaza. Yeah, no, that I guess, yeah, that's what they mean. But like, again, what Hezbollah would have done against Israel to support Iran was kind of limited. Here she says, Iran is our playground.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but Iran, the mother of all enemies, is our playground. Our fighter jets are doing there whatever they like. We have drones all around. We destroyed their defense system. The Islamic Republic, the head of the snake. They're blind. This regime is exposed like a Swiss cheese, full of holes.
Full of holes. Dude, she's like a cartoon villain. She literally sounds like a cartoon villain, gleefully sharing footage of Iran being bombed with smoke coming out of their buildings. The war makes people into fucking psychos, bro.
We can literally send Al Al's passengers plane straight to Tehran. Oh, we could never fly over Iran. Let's see what led to that. This is someone who was eliminated on Friday morning, quoting Soleimani, who was eliminated in 2020. I've built Iran's 6 armies outside of Iran. Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis, Syria.
It's Houthis. Haley D says, now that is what I call an adult bitch. And I fucking agree, Haley. Permission to call this lady a bitch, folks. May I? I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. I'll let Haley do it.
To get to Iran, you gotta go through all of them. And no one can. Really? You see, there's nothing that the Jews can't do. Beep, beep, boom, boom, no problem. And yesterday, while we attacked in Tehran, we were also over Yemen, targeting the Houthis' chief of staff. Just understand.
Oh, we know. You're bombing Yemen, you bombing Iran, you bombing Syria, you bombing Lebanon, you bombing Gaza. يا اخوات الشرموطة يا خيري يفكوا عن ايدنا كلنا يا خيري بقى ايد بشكلكم كلكم. She was probably in the fucking IDF too, you know what I mean? This piece of shit was probably in the IDF because it's mandatory conscription. All these fuckers boasting about being... We know you're everywhere, you fucking terrorist fucks. You are terrorizing the fucking region and we have to fucking live here around you and fear for our fucking lives constantly and not know how to fucking plan for a fucking future because of you pieces of shit.
How the Iranian regime, they see all the Arabs as disposable, only a tool to protect their rule, while they oppress their own people and plan to eliminate the Jews. Anyway, we took care of them all, and now Iran is all alone. So Khamenei, I hope the dress will not interfere when you will get down on your knees.
Look at this fucking crazy lady monetizing the war. Look at that. She's a blue check mark, bro. She's making these fucking tweets and fucking like making money, bro. She's got 248,000 followers, satirical advocacy, TV panelist, content creator, actress. Oh, she's an actress too. Oh, 5 hours ago.
Is it Khamenei in his bunker? You know what they are saying? No one knows where Khamenei is.
Khamenei, stop saying it like that. She's so fucking annoying. Khomeini. Bro. Sorry guys, I'm being rude. I'm being rude. I'm cursing in Arabic, bro. But it's like, khalas. She disgusts me.
Israelis. Now, Celine Dion, it's a great hit. But just in the last 24 hours, we have 2 hits that will compete. We just took down the Chief of Staff of the Islamic Republic's military and Revolutionary Guard.
Don't you be talking about Celine Dion, okay? You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. This is the replacement of the replacement. We said bye-bye to the first one on Friday. And this one was just 4 days in the job. Where is your persistence, for crying out loud? He was eliminated before his email signature was set up. Who's next? There is one more hit I loved. Where is the spokeswoman for the Islamic Republic of Iran? You know, Iran's version of lights, camera, jihad. Yeah, the one that said that the Zionist entity will become dust. That's what we call dust for dust. What more?
She's fucking celebrating the fact that this lady got bombed during the recording.
Muhammad will say that Al-Yahud are in your neighborhood. Now, I've heard you're lying about hitting the Mossad building. We were a bit confused. You were talking about the one in Israel or the one in Tehran? This big empire is so weak that they started to fight like their proxy, the Houthis. So now the Ayatollah wants to...
Okay, that's enough of her. Oh, my God. Disgusting. Did I close it again? I did. Okay, that's okay, folks. We got some more tweets coming your way. Some more, and we're going to get to Piers Morgan. How long have I been streaming for? Only an hour, folks. We got at least another hour and a half, maybe 2 together. Hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you for joining us, folks. Update for those of you who are just joined us. Now we're going to be reacting to some Piers Morgan propaganda in a little bit of H3 as well, and some other updates. This was kind of disturbing. I'm not gonna lie, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Bombed Iran song. Israelis getting booed in France. Ooh, there's some good. I've been collecting a lot of fucking tweets for this stream, folks. There's a whole lot of shit to look at. Okay. I don't know what the fuck this is. Okay. I hope this doesn't come off as like homophobic. I'm not a fucking homophobe, just to be clear. I've seen like the first 20 seconds of this. This dude is clearly gay, but he's saying some fucking nasty, weird shit. Okay, and he just looks fucking weird. Okay, that's why this is kind of weird to me. It's not that he's gay. He just so happens to be fucking gay. Okay, so let us see. This is fucking nasty. What does it say? Iran should stop attacking Israel. They're doing unspeakable things in the shelters. He just looks weird, bro. He's got a weird neck. Okay, and I'm allowing myself to make fun of how this man looks because he's a fucking insane Zionist. Okay, no pity for Zionists. If he's got a weird neck, I'm gonna call it out. He's got a weird fucking neck.
And tonight, in our bomb shelter, we're organizing a gay sex party. He found a bomb shelter with air conditioning, very breathable. Very comfortable. The Iron Dome will protect us, enjoying the power of raw, strong Israeli manpower. No weakness.
I mean, this is fucking disturbing, bro. What the fuck is he talking about? What's happening in these bomb shelters? You're supposed there's children in there, bro. There's kids there. There should not be any sexual activity by anyone. Gay, straight. Don't be talking about this stuff. Okay? If a man was doing this with women, like, I'm gonna get down and dirty with these women out in the fucking... I'll be like, shut the fuck up, you nasty fucking freak. You do that in your own home. Behind closed doors, sir. None of that nasty shit over here. What are you doing, bro?
And if you're afraid of strong men, you better watch out for weak men. Or even worse, evil lesbian jihadis. We've got your number, all of you terror supporters, you absolute monster. And tonight,
someone saying, is he mocking the gay community? I don't think he's mocking. This guy's definitely gay. Like, I don't think he's making fun of anyone. I have pretty decent gaydar, folks. Let me tell you, this dude is genuinely gay. I don't think it's someone mocking the gay community. He might be doing like satire about the gay community, but he is certainly gay. What is this? He's so fucking weird, man.
Tonight, in our bomb shelter, we're organizing a gay sex party. He found a bomb shelter with air conditioning, very breathable, very comfortable. The Iron Dome will protect us, enjoying the power.
This guy's like, what kind of fucking video am I in? But he seems to be enjoying it. This guy looks fucking weird too. Okay, now I get why Hassan says they're inbred, bro. You're telling me this guy's not inbred? You're telling me this guy's not inbred with a fucking neck on him?
Raw, strong, Israeli manpower. No weakness.
Yassine says also straight people don't have gaydar. Yes, they do. I'm sorry. Straight people do have gaydar. You might be surprised to know, but we do. We come equipped with the gaydar. Some of us have a stronger gaydar than others.
And if you're afraid of strong men, you better watch out for weak men. Or even worse, evil lesbian jihadis. We've got your number.
Anybody know any lesbian jihadis?
All of you terror supporters, you absolute monster. And tonight...
Okay. This guy too. Look at this fucking guy. Maybe there's an IOF tunnel under that building.
Behind me is the wreckage from a ballistic missile. Behind me is the wreckage from a ballistic missile launched by the Iranian regime. What you can see is a civilian...
Oh, look at his little microphone. He's recording some content.
Apartment building in Bat Yam, or what's left of it, after a ballistic missile directly hit this building. Numerous people were killed.
Damn, bro. Dude, I pause this shit at the best times, don't I? Look at this dude's fucking face. Look at this fucking mouth.
Hundreds were injured, and there are now soldiers behind me digging through the rubble to try to find the bodies of hopefully, survivors from this attack. The difference between us and between the Iranian regime is we are attacking strategic military points in Iran to limit their military...
Bro, like his chin is like trying to run away from his fucking face. What's up with that fucking jaw of yours, bro? And what have you done to Gaza, bro? Like, you see this motherfucker? There's so not... What does it say? Maybe that there's an IOF tunnel. Yeah, maybe there's a fucking tunnel under there, bro. Maybe that's why they bombed you. Sound familiar?
...capabilities while they are launching rockets at civilian buildings. Now, this is just a ballistic missile. Imagine if they had a nuclear weapon. This is what we need to stop. This is what we're fighting for, and we're doing it for the safety of the entire world. Am Yisrael Chai. Behind me...
Motherfucker, you ain't doing it for the... Ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody want to go to fucking war with Iran. You're doing it for your fucking selves, bro. You're doing it for Netanyahu, not even for you. Dumbass idiot. Fucking drink the fucking Kool-Aid, bro. Oh, look at these fucking psychos. We bombed Iran. We bombed Tehran. It's God's plan. This fucking... What do you call this? Acapella? This acapella family band performing We Destroyed Iran.
We bombed Iran. We bombed Tehran.
This motherfucker's wearing a Trump t-shirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is when we say these are mostly Americans. Israel is full of Americans. It's full of Ethan Kleins from fucking New Jersey. Go home! They're losing bomb, 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 Iran. Like, how fucking crazy is this, bro? What fun family. Don't you love sitting with your family, with your mom and dad, and writing songs about bombing other countries? Isn't that fun? Fun family time. Spend quality time with the family. Thomas Jerome Noon with another 5,500 CLP says, lady, just give back the ball. My kids kicked over your fence. I know, right? She sits there fucking talks about Khomeini. Thank you for the generosity. Thomas Jerome Newton. Bomb, bomb, bomb. You see, that's fucking stuck in my head, bro. This fucking genocidal fucking shit. Bomb, 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 Iran. Aidabad Island, bro. Insane. Someone save these videos. We need to save these men for like future reference. They're all in the DMs, I guess. Crazy shit, bro. Oh, this is fun. Again, sorry, Jackson Hinkle again with this tweet, but here are Israelis landing in France, and they're getting heckled after they land in France, bro. This is fucking awesome. Salute to the French for this one. She's saying, Am Israel Chai. Yeah, fuck you. But imagine landing in a country and being fucking booed. Like, people fucking... I'm so glad I'm not Israeli. Like, you know, you can't really control where you're born. We're all born to whoever we're born to. We're born to our parents from... They could be in India. They could be in Sri Lanka. They could be in France. They could be anywhere. You don't control who you're born to. I'm so fucking glad I'm not an Israeli, bro. Oh my God. It is the people that I want to... The least to ever be. You know what I mean? If reincarnation is a thing, please, God, I will be anything. I will be a cockroach. I will be a worm. I will be a tadpole. I do not want to be an Israeli human being. Imagine having to chant. Oh my God, bro. This is so fucking cringe. And the guy next to her is like, Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel. Look at this. Oh, he's doing like the jerk off motion with his hand. Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel. Look at this. Imagine you're landing in fucking France. You're landing in a fucking foreign... Or they're all fucking French, most likely. You know what I mean? So it's not a foreign country. But like, you're landing in another country. You're landing in France and you're doing this. Pieces of shit, ungrateful to be anywhere, bro. Free Palestine. This guy was in support. That's so fucking funny, bro. Thomas Jerome Newton with another very generous donation. Says the Israeli arm dealer being walled off in a French arms show was funnier. Oh yeah, I saw the photo. I saw a picture of that. That was actually kind of great. There was a weapons conference arms show, and they walled off the Israelis, which was kind of nice. Oh, Maki just had a nice little stretchy. Little Maki. Let me give you guys a better look-see. Little kitty cat break, folks. Little kitty cat break. Okay, what else we got? There's a few more tweets to look at. Is this boring, by the way? Oh, let me try to see. Okay, someone mentioned there's something in the Discord. I was not sent to the link. Let me see if I can open up Discord real quick without fucking up the computer. Who told me to download it? I forgot the name. Discord. If you're still in the chat, like Kathy? Was it Kathy? Was it Kathy asking me to check my Discord? Iranians evacuating, we don't need to look at that anymore. To look at that. Israel prison torture, no need to look at that. Netanyahu making some threatening comments. I think we can look at that. Interview, he did a Fox interview. Okay, then there's some footage of the Iron Dome. Do you guys want to watch? This was definitely going to get us. Okay, let's see this. This oil refinery. Caitlyn Jenner, and that's it. I DM'd you Do Not Worry podcast. Oh, you did? Thank you. Okay, let's check this out. Sorry, folks. I'm going to cut to the cats. That way you guys have something interesting to look at while I check my Instagram DMs. I'm still here, folks. My ass still here. As you can see, Maki's ass. For some reason, they've made everything so complicated here on Instagram. General, let me see. Where did you DM me, Dreadful Utopia? Okay, I can't spend too much time on this, folks. As you guys know, I don't like dead time on streams. Oh, was that Discord? Yeah. Fuck it. Kathy, I'll watch that video another time. We'll prep for it, and then we'll watch it another time. Let us get to the topic at hand. Yeah, sorry. If someone has recommendations and stuff, I guess when I'm alone, it's a bit complicated for me to check them out. So we'll do that another time. Caitlyn Jenner, folks, who's been stuck in Tel Aviv. My heart is with the nation and people of Israel. Finish the job, folks. Caitlyn Jenner wants to finish the job. Good luck, Caitlyn Jenner. Oh, yep, see, Discord fucked it up. Discord fucked us up. So, yeah, I'm definitely not going to open Discord. Let me check if Nour... 1 second. YouTube Premium is annoying for one thing. Nour, can you check Discord? Kathy sent a link, I think. I think. Fuck! Okay, there we go. I should just ignore chat sometimes. I know you guys are trying to help, but it is confusing. Because I feel like I need to get the video and then... Okay, we saw that. Marjorie Taylor... Is it still freezing? No, I think we're okay. BB, I understand America first. I don't understand America dead.
It's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant, it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand...
Today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. This motherfucker's trying to convince the world that Iran is out here trying to bomb America, folks. They have no... Why would Iran want to bomb New York? What do they have to gain by bombing New York? What do they want to get out of there, bro? They don't want fucking shit. Like what? Again, fear-mongering, like fucking 2000s level. Like Iraq, Saddam Hussein wants to blow up America. He wants your freedoms. He wants blue jeans and Coca-Cola. Like no, bro. They don't give a fuck about that. Actually, Iran is all against that.
America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support.
John Carl joins me now. So, John, what else did he say about President Trump and how he wants the U.S. to play a role here, or did he?
Well, look, he praised President...
I don't want to listen to you talk. I have another video of Netanyahu. I hate that word. It's so cringe.
U.S. officials tell us that the president flatly rejected a plan, an opportunity that the Israelis had to take out the supreme leader. Do you understand his concern? My understanding is his concern is that this would escalate the conflict beyond where it is already.
No, it's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict. We've had half a century of conflict spread by this regime that terrorizes everyone in the Middle East, has bombed the Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia, is spreading terrorism and subversion and sabotage everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact, what Israel is doing is preventing this, bringing an end to this aggression. And we can only do so by standing up to the forces of evil. Look, democracies have had to learn this lesson. You know, they faced a tyrannical regime, a radical, fanatic regime. For 40 years, I've been saying, actually 3 years after the establishment.
I zoned out. Should I go back to this shit?
Terrorism and subversion and sabotage everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact, what Israel is doing...
Nuclear, again, yeah, he's been saying the same shit for 30 years. Bro, this man needs to die. This man needs to die somehow. Something needs to happen. Someone, is God real? Are the gods real? Is any religion real? If it is, one of you guys sitting up there or from down there, doesn't matter. The devil wants to do it, go for it. Somebody claim this man's life. No, I'm not talking about a human. I'm not talking political assassination, even though that is also technically acceptable. This man has murdered so many people. Just a God, divine intervention. Any religion. Who? Buddha? Jesus? Muhammad? Somebody strike Moses, strike this man down. He's the worst Jew on the planet. Somebody kill this man. Take him. I'm talking to the gods again. Not humans, folks. for anyone who's listening from YouTube, okay?
Is preventing this, bringing an end to this, aggression. And we can only do so by standing up to the forces of evil. Look, democracies have had to learn this lesson. You know, they faced a tyrannical regime, a radical, fanatic regime. For 40 years, I've been saying, actually 3 years after the establishment of this radical Islamist Ayatollah regime in Tehran, I said that the greatest danger, not only to the survival of my country, but to the peace of the world, is Iran's pursuit of nuclear weapons. And they are on the brink of achieving that. So imagine what they're doing now without nuclear weapons.
Of course, in Minecraft, folks, I'm saying I'm saying God should kill him. In real life, Netanyahu should die in real life at the hands of a heavenly creature or being. You know what I'm saying?
Weapons. Chanting death to America without nuclear weapons. Imagine what will happen if they had nuclear weapons. And
oh yeah, they're just gonna nuke America. Yeah, and then they're gonna nuke Israel because Lebanon, like, it's not like Israel has countries around it, right? Like, they're not gonna, bro, shut the fuck up. Iran having nukes is so just that you don't fuck with them. They're just a deterrent. You know what I mean? So you can stop fucking threatening them. They'll be like, hey, you fuck with us, we got nukes. That's the point of nukes. Not that I support nukes. No one should have nukes. But if Israel's gonna have nukes, if these fucking psychos are gonna have nukes, Iran better fucking have nukes too. They have every fucking right to have them.
ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, to deliver it to every place on Earth. We're preventing the most horrific war imaginable, and we're bringing peace to the Middle East. And I believe that after our action, we're going to be able to bring the Middle East to new heights that nobody even imagined. You know, make the Middle East great again. Make it truly great.
Make the Middle East great again. Look, Eid b'shekl be Eid, bro. And guys, if Ethan or anyone wants to clip me saying that Netanyahu should die, then hey, fucking have at it, Haas. I don't think anyone I think half of Israel agrees with me that Netanyahu should fucking go. So if that's what it is. Okay, there's a whole interview of Netanyahu on Fox. I don't fucking want to watch that anymore. He says some more fucking bullshit breaking. Okay, so this is just a little bit of war footage. Again, this is definitely gonna get us demonetized because any sort of explosion stuff. This is the Iron Dome malfunctioning. As you're gonna see this rocket being shot up. By the way, the Iron Dome is like in the middle of like downtown Tel Aviv, in between residential buildings. How fucking insane is that? Look, that's gonna come down and like blow up like an Israeli building, bro. Isn't that crazy? And like, you know, Israelis keep saying that like Hamas is hiding in between the civilians and they're hiding rockets in between civilian homes. The Iron Dome is shooting rockets from literally in between civilian homes. Like, if someone wants to shoot down to deactivate the Iron Dome or stop it, they're forcing their enemies to fire in between civilians. Talk about human shields, folks. Human shields. Am I right? Am I right, yo? Yeah, they even have an underground hospital, yo. Isn't that fucking crazy, though? This is okay. This is pretty fucking crazy. Not gonna lie. This is one of their, I think, like a supersonic missile. You can tell by how fast it's going. Crazy, bro. And this is terrifying. I mean, look, man. You know, I don't like Israelis. I don't have much sympathy for them, but like, I've been in an explosion, bro. When your whole house is shaking, when the glass is breaking, it's fucking terrifying. It's chaotic. If there's kids around, bro, I feel for those kids, man. Nobody should be living in under bombardments and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But like, Israel started it, bro. You bomb another country, you expect me to feel bad for you when they retaliate? Well, don't start shit. Don't start wars. But don't ask us to pity you. Don't ask us to feel bad for you when you're out there starting wars with 9 fucking countries at the same time. Why am I going to feel? I'm going to feel bad for the victims. I always feel bad for the victims. If you're actually victims, I would feel some kind of sympathy for you, maybe. But how am I going to feel any sympathy when you're the fucking aggressor? Okay, I closed it again by accident. I'm not used to this. Firefox, folks. Here, I had a nice little explosion thing to show you guys. I mean, they're kind of they're bad for monetization. There was an oil refinery, and there was the apartment. Okay, this one's very scary. This is definitely going to get us demonetized. But let's do it. Let's do it. So this is over in Haifa. This is an oil refinery and power plant that Iran managed to hit. So like Iran has been able to hit some strategic targets. It's not they're not just firing rockets willy-nilly. A lot of it is kind of willy-nilly, you know what I mean? Again, they don't have the capabilities that Israel has, but they are managing to hit a few targets. They also hit the Ministry of Defense. You see the fire there in the oil refinery. So kind of dope. On behalf of the Iranians. And then horror in an apartment in Israel after... Okay, so this one, trigger warning. This is a very close-up shot of a bomb. So trigger warning. This is going to be loud and scary. Let's check this out. Fuck, let's see that again. So you see that sound of chaos and people screaming and running and confusion and in fear after an explosion, that really gets to me because I've been in exactly that, bro. Even bigger, like August 4th blast. That shit was the scariest thing. So, bro, just fucking war fucking sucks, bro. You know what I mean? Just war fucking sucks. So it's all I'll fucking say, bro. This is some of the aftermath in Israel. Kind of surreal to see that over there. We've been so used to seeing this in Gaza, unfortunately. But it's kind of insane. Look at that. I mean, you know. Barack S says 13 dead in Israel, 300 dead in Iran. This is Gaza numbers all over again. They hit 300. Oh my God, we were talking about it earlier today. The number that I mentioned was 224. So that's fucking crazy that they're at 300. Yeah, it's Gaza numbers. It's like Lebanon, man. When they were bombing Lebanon and they like hit 400 in the first day, I was like, oh my fucking God, bro. I was like, oh my God, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. And we're going to witness it all over again and the world is going to do nothing. Thomas Jerome Newton says, Bibi, I wish you life married to Hila Klein. I wish Bibi Netanyahu to get the Hila Klein tattoo. I think that's the worst thing. Rather than being married to Hila, let him get the tattoo. I mean, look. I mean, you know what I mean. You want to start wars. You're gonna get retaliated at, and I'm not gonna feel bad for you. I'm sorry. We feel bad for our girl Veronica, and we feel bad for our boy Shai. We hope they're safe. Anyways, let me check. Someone mentioned they sent me a DM. I'm guessing it's on Twitter because I checked Instagram. From Discord, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I think we reacted to this. We reacted to this with translation. Let's see the aftermath. Okay. Okay. And then someone said they tagged me in something. Oops. I can't see the tag. Sunflower Dragon sends $10. Hi, Anthony. I'm behind in the stream, but just wanted to say, hey, and F Israel. Well, Sunflower Dragon, F Israel. Come on. You see what happens? We say F Israel, Sunflower Dragon, and Israel disconnects my electricity. Can you see the cats? No more power. Hello, hello. Sorry, folks. We're live streaming from Lebanon, folks. As you know, we got electricity problems galore, internet problems galore, all sorts of technical difficulties galore. The world has made it impossible to live stream. There we go. Mossad got me, folks. The Mossad got me. We back, folks. Israel can't get me. Not yet. Not yet. Right? Isn't that right, Maki? Is the Israeli government ever going to get us, Maki? Are they going to get us, little Maki? How about you, little Natucci? How about you, little Natucci? Whoopsie. No. Noopsie. Okay. I tagged you, Benji. We're fighting with the military guy. No need. Neka, no need. Well, we've reacted to a lot of stuff. It is time to get to some other things. Enough Iran, Israel, war talk. Let me set up the Piers Morgan video. But before, let's look at some Hila Klein and Ethan Klein. I made you guys wait long enough. Let's look at some Instagram stories. Let's look at some Instagram stories from Ethan and Hila Klein, folks, as I set up this Piers Morgan stuff. So, let's get to our favorite Zionist. And I think I just saved a brand new Hila story. So this is a combination of Hila and Ethan. And let me see the latest one. Oh, Nour, I'm confused. We should be line the draw. Okay. What was I doing, folks? I was going to get one more tweet from Hila Klein. Why is it so hot in here? Let me close the door. It is so warm. Sorry, guys. Last minute stream. Doing this on my own. Ain't nobody here to help me. Okay, here's one more tweet that I got for y'all. One more story. And we move on with our lives. Airdrop. Let's go. No. Oh, fuck. Downloads. There we go. Okay, folks. Let's get to some Ethan Klein and Hila Klein stories. Instagram. So Hila starts by sharing, my mom currently... Okay, let me... Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Nick. Okay, we're ready to go. My mom is currently... Got the live chat back. My mom is currently in her safe room and hearing explosions around. They've been up all night with sirens. This is so awful. I think I forgot how to do the Hila voice. Oh my god. My mom is currently... Folks, I forgot the Hila voice. My mom is currently in her safe room and hearing explosions around. They've been up... I can't do it anymore. What's happening? Anyways, here's another tweet. Jews abroad are also being warned to stay on the lookout and lay low. So, Israel is genociding Palestinians in Gaza. They just started a war with Iran themselves. They started a war with Iran. And this is what Hila says. Jews abroad are also being warned to stay on the lookout and lay low. Jews abroad told to remain vigilant after Israeli pounding of Iran. Where there is no credible or specific threat against Jewish community, Islamic Republic has long track record of supporting attacks against Jews outside Israel. So now they think that Iranians are going to come and attack random Jewish people, folks. Sunflower Dragon sends $2 and says all the gods should get him, every god. Exactly. All the gods should hold hands and unite against Benjamin Netanyahu, folks. So Hila Klein, once again, terrified that Jews are under attack globally, and it's not about Zionism, it's not about Israeli being a belligerent apartheid state that is genociding Palestinians and that is now attacking Iran, a sovereign nation. This is about Jews abroad being unsafe. It's always about them. They have to find a way to make it about them. Hila and Ethan have to find a way to be like, oh, but I'm also in danger. I need to get sympathy from the people. People don't feel bad. You know what I mean? Okay, so here we go. Another story. Look at this. Look at this. This is fucking rich. This is fucking rich. 5 Palestinians were wounded, including 3 children, after an Iran-funded Houthi missile hit a Palestinian town. How many times has Hila Klein talked about injured or killed Palestinians when Israel kills them? I'll wait. Zero fucking times. Never. She's never spoken about dead Palestinians or hurt Palestinians when Israel kills them on a daily fucking basis. But if Iranians accidentally hit one Palestinian, oh, you bet your fucking ass Hila Klein is making a fucking Instagram story about it and gonna pretend to be upset about it. You bet your fucking ass that's what she's gonna fucking do. You know what I mean? No word on the daily murder and butchering of children. Now, as they wait in line to get fucking aid and food, the IDF has made it their new hobby to kill Palestinians as they're waiting in line to get aid. No mention of that. But if Iranians accidentally killed one Palestinian person, all of a sudden Hila Klein is the biggest pro-Palestinian you've ever seen. Why wouldn't anyone think of the poor Palestinian children? 5 were wounded, including 3 children, after an Iran-funded Houthi missile hit. So if she's so concerned about Palestinian kids being killed by rockets, someone should tell her what's been going on in Gaza, Hila. Like 100,000 dead kids over there. You might want to put an Instagram story about that one. You know what I mean? So crazy shit. Then this one. This is the one that she even had to apologize for, folks. A female pilot who participated in the attack on Iran. Israeli women are heroes. How fucking tone deaf do you have to be, folks? Israel is currently genociding Palestinians in Gaza. They've murdered over 200,000 of them. They murdered thousands of Lebanese people just a few months ago. They are murdering people in Yemen. They are murdering people in Syria. They are now murdering people in Iran. And Hila fucking Klein, the tone-deaf raider of Ramallah, puts out a photo and says female... and by the way, shared by Yosef Haddad, who's a fucking, like, a government propagandist. Female pilot who participated in the Iraq attack on Iran. Israeli women are heroes. Israeli women are fucking murderers. Israeli women are fucking psychopathic fucking terrorists. At least the ones who joined the IDF and the ones that support the IDF might as well be fucking psychotic terrorists. What the fuck is this insanity, bro? How fucking tone deaf. And like they have fans from all over the world. Like Hila Klein, bro, like H3 Podcast has fans from all around the world. They have fans in the Middle East. They have fans in Iran. They have fans in Europe. They have fans in America. They have fans in Africa. No consideration for their Iranian fans or their like fans and audience that is getting bombed by fucking Israel on a daily basis. And they had fans, like H3 fans and like the subreddit being like, I was offended. I was upset that Hila said that. Like, you know what I mean? Like their own fucking viewers are like, why? By the way, the people who complain are like fucking idiots. They're like like they're like, we're happy that the US and Israel are bombing Iran, but it hurt me that Hila would celebrate. It's like, motherfuckers, like you should never support foreign governments meddling with your own countries and trying to kill your own people, bro. Fucking dumbasses. But anyways, let's keep going. Right away, like not long after that story, folks, a couple hours later, I would like to apologize for my recent story reshare about the female Israeli pilot being a hero. It came off as glorifying violence, which wasn't at all my intention, but I understand that's how it came off. I mean, look, at least I'm going to give her the smallest crumb of credit. She apologized. You know what I mean? She saw some feedback. She was like, you know what? Maybe that was wrong. Let me apologize. Now, let's get to the rest of the apology because that's fucking stupid. But at least she was like, I'll apologize. Did she mean the apology? Does it even matter? I wanted to highlight the difference between women's lack of rights in Iran under the Ayatollah and women in Iran being given agency and women in Israel being given agency to even fight in combat. So you know what I mean? It's got to be backhanded. There's got to be some backhanded comment in there. It can't just be, you know, she can't just be, I fucked up, shouldn't have been, it sounded like I was glorifying violence. I don't mean it. Love to all our Iranian audience and fans. Sorry you're going through this. Hope you're safe. Hope your families are safe. Let's get through this together. Or some fucking shit like that. Is that very hard to say? For Hila Klein it is, folks, because she has to let it in. She has to fucking slap the little... I wanted to highlight the difference between women's lack of rights in Iran under the Ayatollah and women in Israel being given agency. Because you know, agency and freedom is being the right to fucking bomb people and kill innocent people in Gaza. And in Iran, and Lebanon, and Yemen, and Syria. Am I right? At least in Israel, the women can be gay and they can bomb people, unlike in Iran. I just wanted to highlight the oppressive nature of Islam, which is why Judaism is better, which is why Israel is for the Jews, and which is why if you're Muslim or Christian, you cannot have the same rights, and if you're not from Israel, and if you're not a Jew, the Borat is coming out, but like, you know what I'm saying, folks? This is what it's sounding like. Then she says, this by Hen Madzig. Breaking. A woman in Tamra, an Arab city near Haifa, was killed in the Iranian barrage on Israeli civilians. My heart is breaking for Arab Israelis and all those without adequate shelters. Oh, why don't you build shelters for Arab Israelis? Why don't you let them into your shelters, you racist fucks? There's many stories, by the way, of Israelis not letting in Arabs or not letting in minorities into their shelters. Those little fuckers. So again, remember, these attacks are most deadly for the most vulnerable, yet the Islamic Republic in Iran still fires missiles indiscriminately. So again, Hila never talks about dead Arabs when Israel kills them. She doesn't talk about dead Arabs when Israel kills them in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Gaza. No mention. Leshu, why? But the Iranians or an Arab killing an Arab, you know she's gonna mention it. It's like mentioning black on black violence. When someone tries to highlight like the like violence or racism in America, like, cops shoot so many black people, and they're trying to highlight that it's a problem. It's like saying Israelis kill so many Arabs, but what about black on black violence? What about Arab on Arab violence? That's Hila Klein. She's the what about black on black violence? That's the equivalent. You know what I mean? No, look. The Iranians killed an Arab. Does she ever talk about Arabs dying when Israel kills them? No. Why would she? And this is Hila. This is Ethan. Now, let's get into Ethan fucking stories. He's like, Hassan, why do you keep attacking Palestinian voices? But then he shared this. Oh, sorry. So this is the order. So, Ahmad Fuad Khatib, folks, friend of the show and my enemy, who called all Lebanese people slimy, who was basically justifying Israel bombing Lebanon. He called all my countrymen slimy, folks. He said Lebanon is filled with terrorists. That fucking dirty fucker. So he went on like a barrage against Hassan. He made this like infographic about like, meet Hassan Piker, Twitch's top tier terrorist sympathizer, blah blah blah, cosplaying as revolutionary. Ethan shared his whole thing, and then at the end he was like, hey Hassan, why are you against? Why do you keep attacking Palestinian voices? And then just now, a few hours ago, Ethan shared this story. This is a post by Hen Mazig as well, and the Jewish Chronicle. It says, civilians in Tel Aviv and Tehran are facing the same brutal oppressor. They probably mean, Khomeini. And Ethan says, the Israelis and Persians, the fact that he calls them Persians still, bro, they're called Iranians, okay? No one fucking calls them Persians anymore. The Israelis and Persians have always stood together in the battle for a peaceful future. So that's Ethan Klein, folks, a friend of the Persians, lover of Persians, wanting Israelis and Persians to make peace, just like Maki's making biscuits right now, folks, and not doesn't really seem to be all that impressed. What do you guys do? You guys want to fight each other? Give the people a show. You guys want to see some cat fights? They're chilling. Okay. Anyways. The cats aren't interested in fighting, folks, but I want them to fight. I want to give you guys your money's worth, especially those of you who donated. I know you came here for animal versus animal fighting, folks. Alrighty. Let's get into some Piers Morgan, folks. Piers Morgan, uncensored. We've done a lot today.
Israel is not at war.
Shut up.
With
Shut up. There's Cenk Uygur in this video. There's Dr. Morandi, who we've reacted to here. There's Mehdi Hassan.
Again,
Let's just watch some propaganda, folks. Soulless bastard Piers Morgan. And let's watch this panel. Let's have some fun together, folks. Let me just make sure that I didn't leave anything out in that beautiful document that I spent hours gathering all the finest tweets for you. Caitlyn Jenner, we did. Blah, blah, blah. Israel prison. No need to watch that. Yeah, we did it all, folks. We even read the Mike Huckabee thing. What a productive night we have spent together, folks. What a productive night. We've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. Let us get to Piers Morgan, and then if this doesn't take too long, and if you guys are good, we'll watch some Ethan Klein talking about protesting here in America and stuff like that. We'll have some fun cringing at him. But for now, let us get to Piers Morgan. This is not our war. Israel strikes Iran debate featuring Professor Morandi and Mehdi Hassan.
We showed our capabilities. We showed the amount of intelligence we have, and we will decide, what we will do next.
I think you forgot. You're an American, not an Israeli.
Do they or do they not support and fund Hamas and Hezbollah? Think like
Our queen, Haley D, just gifted 10 Do Not Worry memberships. We love you, Haley. Thank you so much. And by the way, just an update. Why are we watching Piers Morgan? Piers Morgan, as you guys know, has been an Israeli butt licker and an IDF and a Zionist butt licker for the last 2 years over the genocide. He has refused to call it a genocide. He has kept defending it and running cover for Israel, justifying it, saying, what's an appropriate response? What's an appropriate response? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Asking everyone if they condemn Hamas. 2 weeks ago, he just realized it's actually a genocide, and he's actually, been calling out Israelis and defending Palestinians now and routinely calling it a genocide. Well, that only lasted about 2 weeks because now the war with Iran has started, and Piers Morgan is back to kissing Israel's ass and justifying the war in Iran and manufacturing consent for against the people of Iran. He's doing it again, folks. He's such a coward. Just when you think there might be hope for Piers Morgan, he just shits all over his mouth again, folks. So let's see what he does today. We got Cenk Uygur. Cenk, he's going to the center. He's kind of going to the right. He's trying to appeal to Republicans. We know that. But when it comes to Israel, he's always kind of based on the issue. I'm sorry to say, him and Anna Kasparian are both based on Israel. So I think he's going to be good in this episode. We got Mehdi Hassan. There's Dr. Morandi, Professor Morandi, who we love, Sayyid Muhammad Morandi. This should be an interesting episode, hopefully. Let's see what the mainstream media, the lamestream media, is saying about this. Let's see how they're covering for Israel.
Cannot be this dumb.
Israel attacked Iran. Stop lying. Stop lying.
Everything you just said, with all due respect, is absolute propaganda for the terrorists.
10 years ago today, Donald Trump comes down the golden escalator. And what did he say? No more foreign, endless wars.
Your friends, your Zionist allies, they have bombed buildings belonging to the Iranian television. I'm in one of those buildings. The guard right now is standing outside the door telling me to leave. I was yelling at him, telling him to go. I'm going to finish this interview.
What we saw on Thursday night from Israel was not a preemptive strike. It was a preventive strike, which is illegal under international law. I don't know why you're believing them on this.
If the UN's experts are correct, then Iran is or was 3 days away from enriching enough uranium.
Tetrafun, also all the way from Turkey, just gifted another 10 Do Not Worry memberships. Thank you so much, Tetrafun. That's so generous of you. We love you so much. Sunflower Dragon sends $5 and says, isn't it nice that Hila's mom has a safe room, unlike literally anyone in Gaza and the people of Iran? Exactly. They ain't got no place to fucking hide, and they want us to feel bad for Israelis. Nuxolotl says Hila acts as if ICE is coming to pick her up. It's Iranian ICE. Thomas Jerome Noon with another 5,500 says, wasn't that the photo of a Chilean Air Force pilot? I'm not sure. Thomas Jerome Newton. Thank you so much for your generous support tonight, Thomas, helping me fund my PC, folks, which, by the way, I couldn't get the PC box that I wanted to get. The cables were really annoying. I had to open the fan, so I'm getting something else. It looks different. It's not going to look as cool, sadly, but it should be still pretty nice. Should be pretty nice.
To build an atomic bomb. That would support Prime Minister Netanyahu's claim that Iran is months, not years, from developing nuclear weapons. A nuclear Iran would be a serious threat to Israel and, frankly, to all of us. Now, we know this because the ruling mullahs...
A nuclear Iran would be a threat to all of us, yeah. Iran is planning on bombing the UK. What would their plan be? Send a nuke to England and then what? Nuke the rest of the world because no one's going to nuke them back, bro? What is this obsession that Muslim countries or that Iran wants to nuke the rest of the world? To what end? To what fucking end do they want to nuke you? You fear-mongering, consent manufacturing motherfuckers, bro.
Not subtle about their intentions, as we're supposed to believe that chanting death to Israel, death to Britain and death to America is just excitable rhetoric like globalizing intifada. But there's a lot that we don't know for sure about this crisis. Frankly, the foreign policy experts don't have a stellar record on weapons of mass destruction in Middle Eastern dictatorships. Today, the IAEA, whose evidence is the basis for a lot of this, said the IDF is exaggerating the damage it's done to Iran's nuclear facilities. As recently as March, the US Director of National Intelligence said this.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
Well, Netanyahu has been talking up the imminent threat of a nuclear weapon in Tehran for at least 33 years, and his core message has always been that Europe, and most importantly America, should be very afraid about it. Here he was making that point to me in 2013. If President Rouhani picked the telephone up and called you, would you take that call?
Yeah, we're not averse to calling. It's a question. I'll tell you what I'll tell him. You want the sanctions lifted? Stop your nuclear program. Why do you need underground bunkers? Why do you need ICBMs? The sole purpose of ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, is to carry nuclear payloads. By the way, not to Israel, to Europe and to the United States. They already have missiles that reach Israel.
Why do you need nukes? Why the fuck do you need nukes? Why does America need nukes? Why does France have nukes? Why do any of you motherfuckers have nukes? Explain that to me, motherfucker. If you can send a nuke to Iran, Iran should be able to send a nuke to your motherfucking ass, bro. And I would fucking die along with you because I'm in your fucking I'm in the fucking nuke blast radius, bro. Okay? I'll fucking go. I'll sacrifice myself. If it means Israel gets to go, I'll give my life, folks. What do you guys think about that? You guys down with that?
Why do you need to enrich uranium?
Well, most of the allies who are furious with Israel's increasingly brutal war in Gaza are in lockstep with Netanyahu on Iran, but that doesn't mean there is any public support for being dragged into a full-scale war. And mission creep is Netanyahu's speciality. If Israel's neutralized Iran's nuclear threat, then I support that. But I think I speak for most when I say I don't support mass civilian suffering in a prolonged war that's contingent on support from everybody else. In a moment, we'll debate all this with my panel.
What a nice... I don't support mass civilian injuries. You know, it took him 2 years to fucking call what's happening in Gaza a genocide, bro. 2 fucking years. Mud sends £2. He's been saying it for years, so it must be true. Exactly. If you say something for 30 years, if for 30 years you say that the Iranians are going to have a nuclear weapon ready to go in a month, it must be true.
Mr. Sunday Times, Matthew Said, host and founder of The Young Turks, Czech Yuga, Ben Ferguson, who's the co-host of The Verdict with Ted Cruz, and Jack Posobiec, the senior editor at Human Events. But first, I'm joined by Danny Danon. He's the Israeli ambassador.
Folks, I'm gonna be just outside of the frame for 1 second, okay? Daddy needs to do a little something real quick. I'm going to keep this playing and I'm going to keep listening, okay? I'm right here with you.
To United Nations. Mr. Danon, thank you very much indeed for coming back on Uncensored. First of all, can you just explain to me where you believe Israel currently is in this operation?
Thank you for having me again, Piers. So we are pushing back Iran. You know, it's going to be a long process. You know, for years, Iran built those capabilities, and we know Iran is a big country, and they have a lot of capabilities. And when I speak about capabilities, it's not only the nuclear program that everybody speaks about, it's also the ballistic missile industry. You know, we found out the intentions of Iran to build a massive force of ballistic missiles that can actually compete with the US and Russia. And by the way, unfortunately, we are paying the price almost every night because you see the damage of those ballistic missiles. So you can just imagine if they had thousands of those missiles at the same time targeting Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, it would be devastating. So we are targeting the nuclear facilities. We are targeting.
You know what's funny? Have you guys ever seen 300, the movie with Gerard Butler? The Greeks versus the Persians, right? And the Persians are like, we're gonna blot out, the sun with our arrows. We're gonna shoot so many arrows that will blot out the sun. It's kind of the same thing with the rockets. Like Iran's technique or like strategy of like firing thousands of rockets into the sky, basically blotting out the sun, is kind of like the Persians in 300. A racist movie, by the way. Anyways. By the way, his accent makes me realize that I have a really good Israeli accent when I do it.
Missile infrastructure, and overall, we know about the extermination plan of Iran against Israel, so we are pushing them back.
There are certain sites which you have been unable to get to because you don't have enough weaponry. America has that weaponry. Would you like America to help you, to give you the weaponry you need to get in to where you believe a lot of this nuclear stuff is being hidden?
Well, that would be a U.S. decision. You know, when we look at what's happening...
we would love the weapons. Please, U.S., send us more weapons. We need bunker busters. We need to bust their bunks.
Iran, they are threatening not only Israel, but the U.S. They are burning American flags. They try to assassinate President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. So I think the American people understand that we are fighting their fight, but it will be their decision to decide if they want to get involved and how to get involved. But in the past, you know, it's not for the first time. We were the one who took the initiative. You know, when we attacked the reactor in Iraq in 1982, we did it ourselves. Same was the case when we attacked the reactor in Syria. It's not the same. We are talking about a much bigger task this time, a strong country. And when you look at the numbers, Israel is a tiny country. 9 million people compared to 90 million people in Iran. You look at the size of Israel, Iran is 70 times bigger than Israel.
Oh,
so it is a challenge for us.
Artful Cadence, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Artful Cadence. By the way, I'm going to be doing an exclusive live stream for members and patrons sometime this week, hopefully. So stay tuned for that.
But we decided not to wait anymore.
There are many people who say that Prime Minister Netanyahu in particular has spent 3 decades talking about the imminent danger of Iran developing nuclear weapons and enriching uranium. Why should we believe now that it is any nearer to being done than in those 30 odd years?
Well, I mean, exactly. It appears you said it yourself. He's been saying the same shit for 30 years. Why should you believe him now, you stupid fucking idiot? You even showed us your own fucking interview from 2013. Yet here you are saying that, well, if Iran is here to eliminate their nuclear program, then I support it. But you just said it's bullshit, bro.
Well, first, you need to listen to the IAEA. If you don't want to believe us or our intelligence, they say themselves that they have enough enriched uranium, that it's enough for multiple bombs. And then you look at the intentions, and I tend to believe the Iranians.
Jugawat says, why is Piers always red? Someone said that he looked like Susan Boyle once, and I can't get that out of my mind, bro. When I see him, I just see Susan Boyle sitting there, bro.
They want to destroy Israel, I believe them. When they say that they will use those weapons, and they have a sign that actually with a clock in the square in the middle of Tehran.
Oh, wait, the guy said they tried, so he doesn't push back on the fact that he said that Iran tried to assassinate Trump. I didn't even hear that. If the guy said that Iran tried to assassinate Trump and he didn't push back, that's fucking crazy, bro. Imagine Iran actually tried to kill Trump and like America didn't fucking nuke it the next fucking day, bro. If Iran had actually tried to assassinate Trump and they had evidence, they would have fucking nuked it 6 months ago, bro. Are you you expect people to believe that shit?
I believe them. So we don't take any chances anymore. And after October 7th, we saw the evil of our enemies. So we cannot wait and decide to wait more whether Iran will have the bomb and will use it or not. We are not going to be in that situation. That's why
time's gone by.
We took the preemptive attack. And when you have the intention and you have the ballistic missiles and you have enriched uranium, so until when should we wait? Until they will actually send the bomb to Tel Aviv? We will not do that.
Can we watch Susan Boyle's audition instead of this? How about Paul Potts? Dude, I cry every time I see Paul Potts, whatever, what is it? British Idol, Pop Idol, Britain's Got Talent audition. I fucking cry every time Paul Potts start fucking singing that fucking opera. Nessuna dorma. Nessuna dorma.
Defense Minister Katz this morning posted on X, the arrogant dictator from Tehran has become
Back to the video, folks.
A cowardly murderer who fires targeted shots at the civilian home front in Israel to deter the IDF from continuing the attack that is collapsing its capabilities. The residents of Tehran will pay the price, and soon. This was seen by many people, including myself. I responded to that, to say that this seemed to be a direct threat against the civilian population of Tehran. He later said, I would like to clarify the obvious, even though it clearly wasn't obvious. There is no intention to physically harm the residents of Tehran, as the murderous dictator does against residents of Israel. And it carried on the clarification. But it was a very stupid thing of him to post, wasn't it? To even infer, albeit in a way that he says came out wrong, that the civilian population, the residents of Tehran, would become targets of Israeli strikes.
Well, as you said, Piers, the minister clarified his statement, but I would say more than that. Not only we care for the people of Iran, we pray for them. And if they are watching us now, I want to tell them We feel their fears, and we have nothing against them.
We pray for the people of Iran that we are currently bombing and killing. We pray for you. We love you as we hate you. We love you while we attack you.
We know that they are being oppressed, and we pray for the day that they will be able to live normal life, and we can go back to where we were 46
why
years
one
ago.
iPod?
Before the
Leanna's
revolution.
asking,
You know, we had daily flights.
why
between
one
the-
AirPod? What is he listening to? You know, he's got his Spotify playlist on, listening to some chill music.
Tel Aviv to Tehran, you know, we had a real bond with the Iranian people, and I believe one day it will be the same. So we pray for the Iranian people, and we hope that they will not be oppressed in the future. And for us, you know, we do everything we can to minimize civilian casualties. You know, even today, we announced that we are going to attack a certain area in Tehran in order to minimize civilian casualties, and they are doing exactly the opposite.
You heard him say it, folks. Israel is doing their best to minimize civilian casualties. Of course you are. Of course. Why would we doubt you?
Every night they are targeting cities, neighborhoods in Israel, and unfortunately every night we have casualties, families, kids that are being killed from those missiles.
You've been very successful in taking out a lot of the senior military.
Delia Carmen is saying he's listening to techno. I had another horrible video of Israelis dancing to techno music. You guys want to see it? Of course you do. Let's find it together, folks. 1 second. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, the cat's left. Aw. We have to find these Israelis dancing to techno, folks. She said it, not me. Someone said techno. You know we have to look at Israelis dancing to techno. And it's an old video. It's from like the Gaza. It's from like a few months ago. But I'm not going to let it go, folks. And we are not getting back to the stream until we see these Israelis dancing. These IDF soldiers dancing. Because they all do a similar thing too with like the... Come on, where's that shit? Where's that stuff? There it is, there it is, there it is. Boom. Yalla. Is my computer freezing? That's what he's listening to. So this thing that they do. I'm gonna try to like emulate it here, but literally like they do like. What I've never this is like the third video of of IDF soldiers dancing where they do this, bro. What is with this dance? This is how Hila, Klein, and Ethan were dancing in Israel, folks. Isn't that hilarious? That's how Hila dances. That's what dancing is to her. Oh, I would hate being in an Israeli club, bro. Being surrounded by people just doing this. What is this? What is this? Anyways, now imagine that music while we watch this, and imagine that he's got this techno in the back.
Military commanders in Iran and a number of nuclear scientists. This is according to obviously what you have put out. But the
Here, 1 sec. I'm not even sorry. You guys couldn't see that. Let's try to make it funny. Let me try to write Israel techno in the back right here. Israel techno. Okay, so here are two. Whatever. Here's two Israelis playing some techno music. Let's minimize the audio.
Ayatollah remains alive. It's been reported that President Trump has vetoed any attempt to assassinate the Ayatollah. But I mean, why?
That's what he's
out of
listening
interest,
to.
if you're going to target all the top people of the regime, why would you not target the Ayatollah?
Piers, I will not go into detail, but I will tell you that, you know, we showed
Piers, I'm listening to some techno right now.
We showed the amount of intelligence we have about the whereabouts of the leadership of Iran and the IRGC. We showed our capability to fly everywhere, not only above Tehran, everywhere in Iran, which is a
that one AirPod is doing a lot of work.
Huge country, so we have those capabilities, and we will decide, you know, what we will do next.
Many of us carry around bulky, worn-out wallets that are uncomfortable and full of junk. The big question is why Ridge wallets can hold 12 cards plus cash with
Ridge
$0.
wallets? Piers Morgan is selling Ridge wallets, bro? Okay, enough. I was trying. What? Piers Morgan is selling Ridge wallets? What next? He's gonna sell me a fucking fucking Surfshark VPN? NordVPN? Are you gonna sell me those, what were those headphones that everyone was selling like 2 years ago? Are you gonna sell me a Factor meal? Piers? Are you gonna sell me Factor meals? Are you gonna sell me fucking gamer subs? What is this?
Made from premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. And they're built with RFID blocking technology to defend your cards against digital theft. Ridge offers a lifetime warranty, so this might be the last wallet you ever need. The same lifetime guarantee applies to their key cases, suitcases, and rings. All of them come with free shipping and a 99-day trial. For a limited time, get 10% off.
So, I want to see, we normally don't watch ads here, but like Piers Morgan doing a Ridge wallet, it's the last wallet I'll ever buy. Aren't you sick of those big, bulky wallets? You know what I mean? I'm a multimillionaire. It's the last wallet. It's made of carbon fiber. It's thin. It's light. No, who needs pesky cash? Jesus, Piers.
For Ridge by using code Piers, P-I-E-R-S, at checkout. Just head to ridge.com and use code Piers.
Use code Piers Morgan. Serious journalist when you get your Ridge wallet and your next Factor meal.
Ask you where you heard about them. So please.
Raycons, that's the one. Raycons. Yeah, next Piers Morgan ad. Have you tried the new Raycon My Earbuds 12? They're the best. You know, I mean, I know that they're drop shipped from China, but I mean, hey, the new Raycon earbuds are my favorite earbud. I use them every day on the treadmill.
On our show and tell them I sent you.
Raid Shadow Legend.
Explain something to me, which is that this has clearly been a very well-planned operation.
Oh, he's
there
back.
are reports of Mossad agents being all over Iran, planning all sorts of stuff involving drones and targeting sites and targeting people and so on. So from a military perspective, a highly successful operation so far, as indeed was the operation against Hezbollah.
Piers, I can barely hear you. The music is bumping in my ear. I am listening to Israeli techno right now. Isn't it popping, Piers?
Where 3,000 terrorists were targeted with the pager devices. Again, very successful, very precise, very targeted. Mossad's fingerprints all over it. Which does beg the question, and it's one that I've asked, I've not really had a satisfactory answer to. But why is it that with Mossad, one of the world's foremost intelligence agencies,
Piers, I just took some ecstasy. I'm feeling great right now.
With Hezbollah and with now Iran.
I kind of want to fuck you, Piers.
Completely incapable of
Piers, you're looking good. I'm kind of sweating right now.
Israel, Hamas, who were given
shout out to his family.
Given free reign when Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2005. They were able to spend 20 years building a highly sophisticated, very deep tunnel network, and were then able to plan one of the world's worst terror attacks
sophisticated
of
tunnels.
And even after doing all that, the only way that Israel's been able to go after Hamas has been to basically flatten as much of Gaza as it can, and in the process kill 50, 60, maybe 70,000 or more.
I can't stop imagining him listening to fucking techno right now. Haley D with $5 established. Established titles here. Get your established titles. That's so funny. Haley, we love you. Thank you so much for being so generous. Lord, let's listen to what
people, including maybe 3/4 of that being civilians. People seem sort of nonplussed why Mossad seems to drop the ball so badly in Gaza and with Hamas, and yet been so successful in other parts of the region.
So first, I agree with you that we have to give credit for the Mossad for the operations in Lebanon and in Tehran. You know, we have no border with Iran. We have no dispute.
Okay, so he's asking, why can you guys be, precise in other countries, but when you're in Gaza, you're just murdering people willy-nilly? Is that the question?
Able to plan one of the world's worst terror attacks in modern times, and even after doing all that, the only way that Israel's been able to go after Hamas has been to basically flatten as much of Gaza as it can, and in the process kill 50, 60, maybe 70,000 or more people, including maybe 3/4 of that being civilians. People seem sort of nonplussed why Mossad seems to drop the ball so badly in Gaza and with Hamas, and yet been so successful in other parts of the region.
People are asking for the music to come back. By the way, it's Israeli techno. Just someone said I'm a caveman for saying techno. I'm old, okay? It's called techno music to me. Who said that? Zlizard King says, stop calling it techno, you inbreds. It's techno, boy. Okay.
So first, I agree with you that we have to give credit for the Mossad for the operations in Lebanon and in Tehran. You know, we have no border with Iran. We have no dispute with them. It's 1,000 miles away from Israel, and still we developed very impressive capabilities in Iran. Regarding to your question, you know, it's important to understand that Mossad is not in charge of Gaza or acquiring intelligence in Gaza. In our government, in our system, we have separation.
But why not?
Mossad,
if you don't mind me interrupting, why not? I mean, they've been right in the heart of Tehran.
Allow me.
They've been in the heart of Lebanon. Why not in Gaza? Doesn't make any sense.
So I will explain my point that, you know, Mossad is dealing with external threats, and the Shabak, the internal security agency, deals with the threats within Israel, which includes Gaza and Judea and Samaria. So yes, I agree with you that we failed on October 7th, and we're going to have to inquire exactly what happened. You know, I was Deputy Minister of Defense 10 years ago, and I sat in many important intelligence committees. I think one of the reasons for our mistake was that we focused too much on Lebanon and Hezbollah. We always thought that Hezbollah is the imminent threat, and they will be the one who will actually invade Israel. They will be the one who will attack Israel. And we put a lot of resources, a lot of energy looking north. We should have looked south, and that was a huge mistake. We paid a heavy price for that. But I agree with you. You know, we're gonna
Sunflower Dragon, you should get a PO box so I can send cat gifts. That's it. The PO box is happening, I believe, early next month. I just need to get paid and the PO box because I can't pay for it using card. I promise you, PO box will be happening. I promise you all. I wanted more than you, trust me. I want to get free shit. You guys, you think you want to send me stuff? You guys are going to be paying for it. I'm just going to be getting free shit. I want it, but just got to set that shit up. Sorry, guys, for the delay.
Have to look into what happened in Gaza and why it was neglected.
There's a very long and detailed and very damning report that's come out today in New York Magazine, extremely thorough and detailed and well-researched, which concludes that Israel has almost certainly been perpetrating a lot of war crimes in Gaza. This is something which your own former prime ministers have been saying now as well. Obviously, Israel's government has emphatically denied this, but at the same time persists in having a ban on any international journalists coming into Gaza to verify what is actually happening on the ground. Surely the best way to establish whether you have or haven't been acting within the law is to allow international journalists in to do their job, isn't it?
Well, first, I have to disagree with this language. You know, I deal with that at the UN every day when people spread lies so easily, blood libels, you know.
Well, these are former prime ministers.
People spread lies and blood libels.
Israel, with all due respect. So, I mean, they're not exactly.
So, guys, if he's saying, like, if he's spreading, like, propaganda, I am zoned the fuck out. I'm still thinking about the techno music. So, I'm not doing a good job of commenting on what this man's saying.
I'm going to stop reading the chat. Who you would normally expect to accuse Israel of war crimes.
He was prime minister 20 years ago, and he's bitter, and he doesn't like the current government, but not only from the inside. You know, Tom Fletcher, a senior diplomat here at the UN, claimed that 14,000 babies will die within 48 hours.
Yeah, he made a terrible mistake. That was a stupid thing to say, and he made a terrible mistake for which he's apologized.
Yeah, but he didn't apologize for claiming there is a genocide in Gaza. So people, you know, spread those lies, and then sometimes they retract it, sometimes they don't.
Oh, look, he's wearing the pin for the hostages. Yeah, it's spreading lies. Come on. Stop.
And we have to deal with the consequences, with the incitement. So yes, I agree with you. There is suffering in Gaza. I agree with you. It is painful for Israelis and Palestinians. But let's, you know, stick to international.
It's painful for Palestinians and Israelis, folks. Israelis are also feeling the pain. They're also being starved to death. You know what I mean?
Law. Let's look at the facts. We are doing our best, you know, even now when we are in the middle of a war with Iran, today the centers in Gaza were...
Even now, as we start another war with another country, we are doing our best. We keep starting wars, and yet we keep trying to help the poor Gazans. We're doing our best, Piers. Bro, just fuck, I hate this country so much, bro.
Operated the humanitarian fund, and 4 centers delivered tens of thousands of packages to Palestinians. So I think we should look at the facts and to understand that we still have hostages in Gaza, and this conflict will end with the hostages coming home and Hamas getting out of Gaza. Maybe they will be deported like what happened in Lebanon in the 80s with the PLO. Maybe they will surrender, but I think that will be the end of this conflict.
And why haven't you let the journalists in?
Well, you know, first of all, today you have access, you have Wi-Fi, you can see everything that happens in Gaza. You have reporters inside Gaza for all agencies that support. You know, for us to take responsibility for people coming in and out in a war zone, it's something we don't feel comfortable with.
I don't think you need to. Listen, all I know is, with all due respect,
that's his excuse. There's already Wi-Fi there, so you can see what's up. First of all, they cut off the Wi-Fi in Gaza, bro. Like, they gave him a complete fucking blackout. And, like, is that really your excuse? There's already people could see what's happening in there. Isn't that what you're trying to stop? Isn't that what you're trying to combat? Isn't that what you're calling like fake propaganda all the time, and you call it Pallywood and shit like that? Everyone knows what's happening there, bro. And we're just looking out for. We don't want the poor journalists to get killed if they come in. You've been killing them. You've killed over 200 journalists, you psycho fucks. We're looking out for them. We don't want them to come in. We don't know what's going to happen to them. Yeah, you're going to fucking kill them is what's going to happen. Yeah, don't let them in. Honestly, don't let journalists into Gaza because they're just going to fucking kill them, bro. The Israelis are just going to fucking kill the journalists. So at this point, I guess don't let them in. Shubadna Nour, what can we fucking say? I'm kidding. We should have them in, but like, you know.
Very soon after October the 7th, Israel's government instructed the IDF to take the world's journalists to the scene of the appalling crimes of terrorism that were committed in Israel. But when it comes to what is going on in Gaza, there's been an almost total ban on any international journalists. And with all due respect, it's not your concern whether international journalists will be at risk or not. That's the risk assessment of their own companies who employ them, as it is in any war zone. You should allow them in. And then this whole question of whether Israel is operating within the law or not can actually be established by independent journalists coming from around the world. And until you do that, it's going to raise the obvious suspicion that you are doing things you don't want the world to know.
18 minutes.
Well, it's a legitimate debate, but, you know, just imagine what would happen, God forbid, you know, one of the journalists would...
Tax day has passed, but for millions of Americans, that's where the trouble begins. The IRS is now ramping up enforcement for those...
Get this new tax software, TurboTax. Oh my God,
who missed the April deadline or still owe back taxes.
Okay, panel, here we go.
Well, let's go to the panel. Cenk.
Boom, all right, we got Cenk, Hassan's own uncle, folks. Everybody's uncle, who's been disappointing us lately, but that's okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's go to the panel. Cenk, I could see you reacting pretty violently to what you were hearing there. So what is your response to what you heard from the ambassador?
Yeah, when Israeli officials speak, it's like they're in fantasy land. They leveled Gaza. And the reason that they leveled Gaza is because they're going to take Gaza. And that's not speculation anymore. When those of us who were opposed to their war crimes and genocide said they were going to take Gaza, that it had nothing to do with self-defense, it had to do with land acquisition, as all the wars that Israel starts has to do with. They said, oh, that's anti-Semitic, how dare you? Now their cabinet...
Mandy says, oh, I can't with Cenk. Listen, Mandy, I know. Cenk has had his issues, specifically since Trump won, and him and Anna are doing this whole grift to the center or grift to the right. I know, but when it comes to Palestine, he's usually pretty based. He's usually pretty correct. He's a loud, vocal defender of Palestine. So when it comes to that issue, he's a good attack dog, I would say. So let's give him some slack here, I would say.
Has said, yeah, we're going to take Gaza. It's a conquest. So now they've started another offensive war in Iran. They'll pretend to be the victims. That's what they always do. Oh, my God, so I had to start a war for self-defense. Nonsense. Garbage. Just like you said, 33 years. They even say any day now Iran's going to have nukes. It was a lie. Netanyahu went on Fox News over the weekend, admitted they weren't even close to having it within a year. Then they said, oh, it's because of ballistic missiles. The ambassador there again referred to the ballistic missiles. An incredible number of countries have ballistic missiles. Is Israel going to attack all of them? Is Israel going to invade all of them and then pretend that it's self-defense? And then they talk about, oh, we try so hard to not have civilian deaths, and then American media plays along. No, they killed hundreds of civilians in Tehran. So they always kill civilians. They always kill more civilians than their opponents while pretending that they care so much about...
Hat guy says, why does Piers always have like 7 annoying loud dudes on at once? Because it's good television. Hat guy, that's how you get people yelling and screaming at each other. Honestly, look, Piers Morgan is a piece of shit, but that motherfucker knows how to get views. He makes he's the Jerry Springer of news at this point. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Piers Morgan is. Someone said Elab says, bro's forehead is oily. I know, that shit's, Cenk's forehead is, I think it's just sweating. He's Turkish. All us brown people, we sweat when we get passionate about shit, especially when you talk about Israel. We all get sweaty foreheads.
Civilians. They're the ones starting all the wars. We all have eyes and ears. We just saw them start this war. And every time American media plays along and pretends that there's a fantasy land where Israel's the victim, and oh my God, they just had to attack yet another Middle Eastern neighbor. They just had to take Gaza. So almost when you hear an Israeli official speaking, they're lying. They're lying almost 100% of the time.
I mean, I'm going to come to Ben Ferguson to respond. All I would say is, clearly...
All right, good job, Cenk. No, he's not saying anything too original here, but he's doing good. Sorry, let me make myself bigger.
When you have the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah, who's gone on record as saying he wants to get rid of Israel, And when you have Hamas in Gaza, who are also wedded to getting rid of Israel, it's not completely irrational that they would feel that they are under threat. Now, you and I have debated a lot the way they've gone about things in Gaza. It's markedly different how they've gone about things in Iran and with Hezbollah. But I don't think we can pretend that Israel is not under threat from either Iran or Hamas. Ben Ferguson.
Yeah, what he just said omitted one massive aspect of the conversation. There was an attack on Israel. There was the kidnapping and the torturing and the raping and the murdering of innocent...
What? Whoa. That's October 7th, bro. What does Iran have to do with that? What attacking? What murdering? What raping? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing here?
Omitted one massive aspect of the conversation. There was an attack on Israel. There was the kidnapping and the torturing and the raping and the murdering of innocent people.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Here we go again.
People that were gathering to have a fun weekend. The idea that he is forgetting what happened.
So people who are gathering to have a fun weekend. He's talking about the Nova Festival?
On October 7th and acting like Israel just woke up on a random Tuesday and decided to start attacking Gaza is absolute anti-Semitic insanity. We know what started this.
And of course, anti-Semitic insanity. He's wearing a pin. He's wearing a U.S.-Israel pin as well. Is this guy even Israeli, bro? Again, why do I always pause at the right time? Look at this motherfucker's face. I'm the best at pausing, bro. Okay, Firefox doesn't let me zoom into the fucking faces on YouTube. That is a problem. How are we going to zoom into people's armpits?
And the second part of this, he says, hey, are they going to attack everybody in the world that has ballistic missiles? I lock my doors at my house every night for the people that might be right outside of my house. And you have someone that is saying, we want to annihilate you from the river to the sea and chants death to Israel. And says they want...
He's hitting every point. People that want to annihilate us from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. It's a genocidal term. Everything. He's hitting every point.
To murder you because you are Jewish, and to act as if they don't have a right to defend themselves, and to attack Gaza after you have a massive terrorist network, an underground tunnel system that allows for them to go after you every single night, where you have to have an iron dome to protect and defend. So everything you just said, with all due respect, is absolute propaganda for the terrorists because...
Desiree Serhan Photography, who's been a member for 2 months, says Americans defending Israel should just go live there and defend it there. Exactly. Just fucking go live there. Hey, bro, what the fuck, whatever your name is, go live in Israel. Leave America. You're already giving all your tax dollars to Israel. They get healthcare there. You don't. Go get some healthcare over there.
You admitted the fact that Israel was attacked first, that started the whole damn thing.
Okay,
no.
Matthew Said.
No, that's not.
Hang on, check.
What I heard was propaganda for a terrorist just now from Ben, the terrorist state of Israel, who's been occupying the
Who planned the attack and who supported the attack on October 7th?
Why don't you let them go? Why don't you let foreign people go? How much do you want to oppress and humiliate and murder them? Now you're going to murder Iranians. And by the way, Ben, I think you forgot. You're an American, not an Israeli. Act like an American, not an Israeli. What are you, a foreign agent? Why are you working for a foreign...
I can stand with Israel. He's wearing a fucking pin. He's not even from there, bro. How much of a fucking shill and sellout do you have to be to wear an Israeli fucking pin? You APAC bought motherfucker, bro. You cheap fucks. Just a few dollars in the pocket, bro. And you're a fucking mouthpiece for a fucking genocidal entity. Uzaber.
Government. Why don't you care about American interests?
I don't work for a foreign government.
We got no interest in this war.
All right,
let's go.
I have interest in people being able to live a life without fear of bombs coming into their backyard, hitting their apartments, hitting their homes from a terrorist organization. Iran is a part of that,
Gaza,
and you know it.
And all of the Middle Eastern neighbors of Israel. They live in fear of Israel, the terrorist state attacking
Israel
them 24/7.
doesn't go on the
all
offensive.
Israel
They
ever does is attack their neighbors and take their...
Oh, this guy says Israel doesn't go on the offensive. Ya Hmar. Ya Kelb. Ya Hmar. Kesich شكلك بأير, bro. Are you fucking... ما خلص بقى. Stop it. Everybody can fucking see what's happening. Stop it. Stop.
All right, time out.
Why did you admit the... Here's, I have one question here. Sing, I've known you for a long time. One question. Why did you admit in your opening statement that Israel was attacked on October the 7th? Why did you not mention it one time? Because that is the fact that you cannot bring up, because that is what started the catalyst of where we are today. You know it, so you didn't mention it because you want to indict Israel, acting like Israel woke up and decided to start attacking people. It's bullshit.
All right, listen, I do want to let the other two panelists come in. Jake, you'll get a chance to come back.
58 years of brutal occupation, and you think it started on October 7th?
Let's not go back to the whole 75
years. Later, you're still murdering Palestinians? Still murdering Palestinian children for sport?
Gentlemen, there are 4 panelists, please.
So, okay, you love genocide, I got it.
are 4
Don't move to
panelists,
Israel.
guys. There are 4 panelists. You can come back
he
on
said,
in a second.
don't move to Israel. Look at this dumb fucking face. Look at his stupid fucking face, bro, and his stupid fucking pin.
And have further thoughts. Matthew Sider, you read a great column at the weekend, and you were talking, and I thought it was very striking to me, about the difference between Vladimir Putin rattling his nuclear saber, because, as you pointed out, he's an extremely materialistic guy who's amassed hundreds of billions of illicit gains at the expense of his people, and he's the last person that would want to actually die for his country by pressing nuclear buttons, which would lead to his immediate vaporization. I've been saying that for ages. However, it is a different thing when it comes to Iran. There will be people there with very fundamentalist ideals who might think, if they're cornered, who might think if there's nothing else they think can get them through, who might think nothing of using a nuclear weapon if it came to it. It was the same kind of nihilistic attitude that we saw from Al-Qaeda, that we saw from ISIS and so on.
That's right. I mean, just a couple of quick...
Oh my God, he's comparing an entire country to like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. He thinks Iran is a country of Muslim fundamentalists, fucking extremist terrorists. Like that's how you manufacture consent. He's basically saying that Iran is a country of fucking ISIS, bro. The whole everyone there is a fucking Muslim fundamentalist.
Attitude.
And even if they were Muslim fundamentalists, shuilak ma'un, bro. Just like Israel is a nation made for Jews. It's a Jews-only country, essentially. If you're not Jewish, you don't have any fucking rights. Shubatak be Iran, bro. Iran hasn't done shit to anybody, bro. They meddle in the Middle East. They meddle in our country. Like, I have a problem with Iran. What have they done to you? What have they done to the UK or to the US, bro?
That we saw from Al-Qaeda, that we saw from ISIS and so on.
That's right. I mean, just a couple of quick points. Firstly, I like to think of myself as broadly pro-Israel, but I think, like you, feel that the destruction that has been visited upon Gaza is a moral, political and strategic calamity. When it comes to Iran, the reason I think that the logic of nuclear deterrence won't work is because they are, many of them in the regime, religious fanatics. They believe they have absolute truth. And the psychology of that is very interesting. It means that anyone who doesn't subscribe to their truth is an infidel and that they are wrong. And they glorify martyrdom and believe that if they can take down infidels, they will go through a door into paradise where they will be blessed forever. And I grew up in the 1980s. My father was born as a Shia Muslim, and I followed the Iran-Iraq war extremely closely. And viewers might be interested that the clerics, the fanatics...
This is like kind of like blatant Islamophobia, like right now. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Fucking talk about what they believe, and this is the fundamentalists believe that if they do this and if they do that, they're going to do this and they're going to...
who took over after the 79 revolution indoctrinated young, innocent children that they were supposed to protect and asked them to walk and often run into minefields and blow themselves up. And they were then depicted in government propaganda as heroes, their limbs strewn across battlefields that many of us have now forgotten about. That, to me, is a death cult of great danger, not just to Israel, but to their own people. Because if they acquire a nuclear weapon and they visit one upon Israel, as they have claimed they would do, Ahmadinejad said Israel must be wiped from the pages of history. The supreme leader described it as a cancer. Call me old-fashioned, but I take these people's words. I take them at their word, if I can put it that way.
But it is a cancer. Israel is a cancer in the Middle East, bro. Like, when you think about it, it's a cancer. It's this thing that wasn't supposed to be there, that literally just fucking got there. It grew in size. The more it grew in size, the more it hurt its host, basically the Middle East. You know what I mean? The more power Israel gets, the more it hurts everyone around it, and it starts attacking the other organs. You know what I mean? It starts bombing other organs and infecting the rest of the body and spreading, and it spreads. It is literally a fucking cancer in the Middle East.
But also a danger to the Iranian people who would die in a counterstrike. And by the way, my views of the regime in Iran are corroborated by 70% of the Iranian people, a fantastic people, an ancient civilization.
Yes,
most of whom have been...
They might hate the regime. It doesn't mean it gives Israel a right to bomb them and to kill civilians in the process of bombing a sovereign nation, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't give a fuck that you're from Iran. I don't give a fuck that you don't like the government. I'm from Lebanon. I hate my government. You think if I was living in the States, I would want the US or Israel to bomb the Lebanese government and kill my people? And what? Liberate them? Yahmar, is that what you think is going to fucking happen? You think they're going to fucking save Iran and hand you the keys? Here you go, Iranians. They're going to insert a fucking puppet government. This is all about regime change now. They're going to have a fucking slave to the US and to Israel, a fucking puppet government that they can use and maneuver in any way they want for their own benefit. Like, stop being an idiot.
Immiserated by this regime that has also destabilized the wider region through proxies and Hamas and Hezbollah. And as you say, Hamas is genocidal too. So one can have, I think, an approach of saying, yeah, Israel have got things wrong. Of course they have. The person who was on before the ambassador doesn't seem to be able to admit that. But my goodness, when Israel goes after the regime in Tehran, not the Iranian people, the regime, I think all right-minded people should support it wholeheartedly.
Beam's creatine is America's #1, and it's made by a company.
Creatine? Bro selling creatine? Bro, this is like the third ad. What did they sell already? He sold a Ridge wallet, TurboTax, and creatine. Jesus Christ.
Founded on values like hard work and delivering real results. Creatine. Why is that absurd, Cenk?
Because here we go again with the neocons, just like they did with the Iraq War. We're going to liberate the Iranians by dropping a bomb on their heads. And once we murder them, they'll love us, and they'll want to get rid of their...
What a fucking dumbass this guy is. This is the way to go. The Iranians don't like their government. So let's fucking bomb them and fucking kill them, you fucking psycho.
Regime. You can tell all these stories about the regime, and those are true. They're fundamentalists. They're not good guys at all. Saddam was not a good guy. That doesn't mean that we had to invade Iraq and cost ourselves several $1 trillion and over 50,000 Americans dead on behalf of Israel, who at the time called Iraq their #1 enemy. And who
I hate it when they talk about how many Americans died in Iraq and not the 1 million Iraqis who fucking died there. We lost 50,000 troops. You went there. You went there to kill them. Stop mentioning how many of your troops fucking died and talk about how many Iraqis, innocent Iraqis, got fucking killed, bro. Okay, and that was 1 million. The lady talked about it earlier. 1 million that were killed directly by the war, and then another 1 million Iraqis that were killed indirectly by the war. Khalas ba.
That is not what's that is not what's happening.
So, and in this case, Iran did not attack Israel. Israel attacked Iran. Stop lying. Stop lying. Israel attacked Iran. Iran did not attack Israel.
I am perfectly happy to say
Israel is the aggressor.
They did through their proxies, Piers. They did through their proxies.
Yeah,
Iran
I don't think they can be
on a daily basis.
I just think when anyone tries to defend
these guys.
Quick second, folks. We got Veronica, our girl, in Israel. She's like, every time we go to the shelter, I think about all the children, all the families that don't have anywhere to hide. How scared must they be? Bro, how are you such a sweet lady, Veronica? She's out there being bombed. Now, to be fair, and again, Veronica knows this. I'm saying this with love. Veronica is literally sending us money from Israel. She knows I love her, but I also believe in Iran's right to defend itself against the Israeli aggressor who started this. So as bad as I feel for Veronica, we understand Iran. Iran has every right to defend itself because it's Israel who literally started this. And literally, as Veronica is sitting there being bombed by Iran, she's out there thinking of other people, folks. We don't deserve people like you, Veronica. You're very sweet. You're a fucking sweetheart. You're an angel. We're sorry you were born in Israel, or you were born Israeli, or that you're in Israel. Like, you should have been here with us in Lebanon, Veronica. That fucking sucks. We hope you're safe. You're such a sweet person, you know what I mean? In your times of danger, you're out there thinking of other people less fortunate. The people of Iran, the people in Gaza without shelters. You're so sweet. We hope you're okay. You are in our thoughts. I was thinking about you earlier. I mentioned you earlier, Veronica. You and Shai. Name dropping you guys.
And fund Hamas and Hezbollah. Think like you cannot be this dumb. I understand that you're a propagandist for the regime, but you and I both know.
I understand you work for Israel.
You're a propagandist for the regime.
You cannot be this dumb. I understand that you're a propagandist for the regime, but you and I both know.
I understand you work for Israel, but America first didn't want any wars.
Multiple terrorist organizations. They have no funding without Iran.
When I hear you guys describing Israel's
enemies, they attack Israel every day. You know that. You're not that dumb. You're a smart guy.
Sure.
You're a propagandist, but you know that.
Sure. So when I hear
his fucking face, his fucking ears, I hate this man so much. You're not that dumb. You see, he's making me love Cenk. I got all my issues with Cenk. When I see a fucking asshole like that, talk to Unk like that, no. Fuck you, calling Cenk dumb. Get at him, Cenk. Fucking bite him, bro.
Hear you guys describing Israel's enemies. What you're actually doing is projection. You're describing Israel. Attacking all their neighbors, killing civilians, an aggressive military empire, interested in acquisition and wiping out their enemies. You know who said from the river to the sea? Benjamin Netanyahu. Who's actually doing from the river to the sea? Benjamin Netanyahu. Who started all the wars? Benjamin Netanyahu. Get out, America, get out of this war. This has nothing to do with us. These guys work for Israel.
Okay, let me bring in Jack.
And the idea that the Iranian people want to be killed, the idea that the Iranian people want to be invaded and bombed is insanity. They do not want that.
No, but I do think a lot of people in Iran, would probably much prefer to have a different kind of ruler than they currently have.
They much prefer to have to. They don't. Doesn't mean they want to be fucking bombed, bro. Wanting another. I want another ruler in Lebanon. We want. We have a new president now. We love you, President Joseph On. All the love. Please do not put us in jail. It's like the rest of our politicians, folks. They're fucking a cancer. They're a fucking cancer on our country. They have been for years. I want other ones. I don't want America to bomb them. Okay. I want another solution. I don't want Israel to bomb them either. I want another solution. You understand? You understand? Piers?
Who operate such a draconian and repressive
Yeah,
regime.
they do not want Israeli rulers.
Okay, well, that's a different question. Let me come to Jack. You've been waiting very patiently. Jack, Cenk mentioned America first and how this is incongruous with America first. Well, at the moment, this appears to be an Israeli operation. They've started this war with Iran. Donald Trump appears to be taking a position of, we don't want to get involved here, making it clear this is not being done with America's obvious physical help. Albeit, I don't think he's too bothered about it happening. I'm probably quite pleased if it does destabilize Iran. But where does this all sit with Donald Trump's America First ideology? Should America, if it comes to it, I mean, if Iran suddenly attacks an American base, for example, should America get involved in this war?
Well, Piers, this is not America's war. This is a war that is confined to two parties in the Middle East. This is a war where the United States absolutely faces the threat of escalation. And as you mentioned, this mission creep and spilling over into the wider footprint of American military that exists throughout the Middle East. And I don't just mean Iraq and Syria. I mean all of the American bases, which are clearly within range of, you mentioned the proxies, you mentioned all these other forces out there. Of course, it strikes the danger of spilling over, not to mention the IRGC has the ability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and imagine what that would do to global shipping and oil prices. By the way, they haven't done that. And 10 years ago today, Donald Trump comes down the golden escalator. And what did he say? No more foreign, endless wars. And instead, why don't we focus on the problems at home? He talked about, obviously, illegal aliens. He talked about deportations. But he said trillions of dollars spent in Iraq, trillions spent in Afghanistan. And what did it get for us? Nothing. Dead soldiers, wounded soldiers. We got absolutely nothing out. And you want to talk about destabilization? Well, I think those wars, the massive wars on terror, wars that, by the way, when I was in the United States military, I did participate in, at least in an intelligence capacity. But what did that do to the region? It destabilized it. Syria, completely destabilized right now. Iraq, completely destabilized. And in Afghanistan, the Taliban is even in a better position than they were before we got involved because they have all the U.S. military equipment that we left there. And so every time the U.S. gets involved in one of these things...
Is the stream still working? Yes. Oh, we got both cats back. Look at that. Cute little babies.
It actually seems to make the situation much, much worse.
Okay, let's take a short break, panel. I'll come back to you for your reaction to this next interview I'm about to do. It's with the Iranian academic and former advisor to Iran's nuclear negotiating team, Mohammad Morandi. Professor Morandi, thank you for coming back on Uncensored. This is a pretty terrible situation for Iran. It looks like Israel has...
Here's our boy, Sayyid Mohammad Morandi.
Advisor to Iran's nuclear negotiating team, Mohammad Morandi. Professor Morandi, thank you for coming back on Uncensored. This is a pretty terrible situation for Iran. It looks like Israel has caught your military napping, caught your leaders napping. They've been asleep, it seems quite literally in some cases, as Israel launched this surprise attack, which has been so far stunningly successful and had comparatively small retaliation from Iran, which suggests that maybe you don't have the capability to do much about what is happening to your country.
Well, first of all, I have to point out some nonsense that your guest said. I fought in the Iran-Iraq war as a volunteer.
I'm sorry, what he said is so, like, what is that? You have no power to stop what is happening to your country. Like, he's saying it in such a condescending way. Like, of course, what is he going to do to stop it, bro?
To do much about what is happening from Iran, which suggests that maybe you don't have the capability to do much about what is happening to your country.
You don't have much capability to do much about what is happening to your country. Yeah, fucking right, bro. It's being attacked by fucking 2 nuclear fucking powers, bro. What the fuck do you want them to do? Smug bastard. Oh, it looks like you can't do much to defend your poor little country now, can you?
Well, first of all, I have to point out some nonsense that your guest said. I fought in the Iran-Iraq war as a volunteer, and I was part of the war effort for 6 years, on and off. I was wounded 4 times, and I survived 2 chemical attacks. There was no children being...
Bro, bless this man. He's like calling in under fucking bombardment. You know what I mean? So he's going to get some technical difficulties. Let us forgive him, folks, because he is under Israeli bombing right now.
Pushed over minefields. These are myths that Westerners, Western media, Western elites have been promoting for many years in order to demonize Iranians and to portray us as fanatic. Right now, Piers, your friends, your Zionist allies, they have bombed buildings belonging to the Iranian television. I'm in one of those buildings. And the guard right now is standing outside the door telling me to leave. And I was yelling at him, telling him to go. I'm going to finish this interview. We are not intimidated.
That is a courageous man, folks. That is a courageous and dignified man in the face of potential death, in the face of violence, in the face of the evil Israeli Zionist regime, bro. This man is under the threat of death, and he's like, I'm not fucking leaving until I do this fucking interview. So fucking what a ballsy, courageous man. I really like this guy. I really do like him a lot. And he's so well-spoken.
By you, your government, the United States, or the Israeli regime. This was a blatant act of aggression. People were murdered in Iranian radio and television just minutes ago. And I tweeted it, and your colleagues have seen it. And this building is also a target. Your allies target journalists. Your allies have murdered over 200 journalists. And you are complicit in this genocide.
Well, let me respond to that, Professor.
You repeated the lies.
Listen, I've seen you, Professor. All due respect, Professor.
You are complicit.
All due respect, Professor. I've seen you doing this kind of shtick in the last few days on all sorts of shows. And let me just respond. The reason...
Shtick? Calls it... Oh, look at his face. I love his reaction there. I've seen you doing this kind of shtick. It's not shtick, bro. He's standing up for what's fucking right.
Reason that I actually think that Israel has a right to do what it is doing with your regime is that your regime has been the fulcrum for terrorism in the Middle East now for decades. Through Hezbollah, through the Houthis, through Hamas, it has done whatever it can do to destabilize the region, to terrorize Israel and anyone else it doesn't like. It's a draconian, oppressive, appalling regime.
Oh, they're terrorizing Israel. Why does Hezbollah exist? Did Iran create Hezbollah, bro? Hezbollah was created after Israel's 2 invasions of Lebanon in 1978 and 1982. It was a direct response. Why does Hamas exist? Hamas exists as a direct response to Israel. Why do the Houthis exist? All of these rebels exist for a fucking reason, bro.
Which is deeply unpopular with many Iranians. And every time I've seen you appear in the last few days, you've had a big smirk grin on your face, as if somehow you know better than everybody else, and that somehow we are misinterpreting your rulers and your regime, and that you're all a bunch of really nice people who have nothing but good intentions for the rest of the world, when in fact it's the complete opposite. And finally, Israel said enough, and they're coming after your nuclear capability because your own ruler, the Ayatollah, has made it clear that he would very much like to see Israel...
He's such a fucking bitch, and that's Israel finally has said enough. Israel has said enough. He just spent the last 2 weeks finally being like, oh, they're committing a genocide. Now he's right back to Israel has said enough. The good guys of the Middle East, the cops, they're the only democracy in the Middle East. They're the most moral army. They've said enough is enough. No more tolerating this evil. The only thing they're saying is that like Iran is evil. You think that they're totally nice guys. Well, they're not. Like all they have, like at least when they did the Iraq war, they were like, look, they have weapons of mass destruction. Here's all this fake evidence. It wasn't real, but like they tried to provide some kind of evidence. You know what I mean? They were like trying to convince the world of this danger. Now it's like they're not even trying. Yeah, they got nukes. They'll be ready in like 3 months. Something like that. Let's go bomb them. They don't even need to try hard anymore. They've already been slowly but surely getting the world used to no consequences for Israel. They've just spent 2 years genociding Palestinians live on our phones. They can literally do anything now. They can literally do anything. It's like when Sandy Hook happened in the States, when that dude came in and shot like 20 fucking 6-year-old kids. They were all shot in the face, butchered. The U.S. couldn't pass any gun legislation after Sandy Hook. And I said, like a lot of other people, if Sandy Hook couldn't change American gun laws, if a bunch of fucking 5 or 6-year-olds couldn't change American gun laws, nothing ever will. And that was true. Nothing happened after Sandy Hook, and no mass shooting since, and there's been fucking thousands or some shit. Nothing's ever going to change. The same thing applies to me to Palestine, honestly. if the fucking genocide in Gaza wasn't enough to move the world and make people change how they act towards Israel, if that doesn't stop weapon sales to Israel and all that shit, nothing is going to do it. You think people are going to feel bad for Iran now? You think people are going to step in to stop the war in Iran? No one gives a fuck anymore. That's it. You've opened the well. You can't put the toothpaste back in the fucking tube. It's done. Now you've normalized Iran doing this. You've normalized Israel doing this. You've normalized Israel bombing other countries, killing innocent civilians every day, and just coughing it up. Oh, it's just fucking collateral damage. Who cares? But it's a targeted strike. We're trying to get rid of the terrorists. We're trying to get rid of Hamas. And that's it. That's it. No one cares anymore. Now Piers Morgan just says, they're evil. They're bad guys. Ethan like, the Ayatollah is evil. That's why we're justified in bombing Iran. It's enough to just say that someone is evil, and now you're bombing a whole fucking country. Or the vague threat that they might have a nuke in a few years and they're gonna want to bomb us. It's crazy, bro.
Removed from this world. And if you hear that and you're in Israel, then you're going to take action to stop that happening. So that would be my response to you.
Well, if your rant is over, I would point out that you are a dishonest person and a dishonest so-called journalist.
You can do ad hominem stuff as much as you like.
But you were too cowardly. Be quiet for a moment. Be quiet for a moment and let me speak.
Don't tell me how to behave on my own show. If you're going to call me a coward, if you're going to call me a coward and a liar, then I won't be quiet on my own show. Especially not from someone like you.
Hey, to be Piers Morgan acting all fucking tough, you invited a guy who's literally in a building that's about to be bombed, and you don't let him fucking speak? Stop being so fucking macho, bro. Let the fucking guy speak, or don't invite him on your show. Now's not the time. He's in a fucking hurry where they're literally gonna fucking bomb him. You want him to die as you fucking bitch?
Who spews disinformation?
I am the one in this building that has been evacuated, and I'm only sitting here because of you. So allow me to speak.
Well, keep the ad hominem attached to yourself then. If you're going to call me a liar and a coward, I'm going to jump in and take you on. So show some respect or don't bother.
You are a coward. You are a coward. You did not come to Iran when I invited you, so you have no right to.
I wouldn't trust going to Iran. Why on earth would I trust going to Iran? As your guest,
your guest said nonsense about.
As your guest in Iran, with your contacts with the Iranian regime,
so
I wouldn't trust that.
He's like suggesting that the guy's gonna get him fucking killed, bro. How fucking crazy is that?
As far as I can throw it.
So don't comment about Iran if you don't come here.
Well, let me give you some facts about your country. Let me give you some facts to see where I'm wrong here. Women face severe restrictions.
You want me to come to Iran and get murdered by you Muslims? You crazy, fanatical Muslims? You want me to come there? Never.
Comes to marriage, divorce, inheritance tax.
So don't comment about Iran if you don't come here.
Well, let me give you some facts about your country. Let me give you some facts to see where I'm wrong here. Women face severe restrictions when it comes to marriage, divorce, inheritance, child custody, and so on. Compulsory veiling, punishable by flogging.
Oh, women can. Oh, so now you're bombing Iran for women's rights. Oh, Piers, now I get it. That women don't have enough rights there. They have to pay for child. Like, okay, women's rights could use some work in Iran. Is the solution for Israel to bomb them and kill them? Is that going to bring them women's rights? Cats are going crazy. Baby fighting.
And prison sentences. Women punished for bad dressing, defined as exposing any body parts below the neck. Women banned from certain professions. They can't be judges. They can't be they can't be in certain positions.
They can't show their ankles. So he basically hates Islam. That's Piers Morgan's problem with Iran, is that they're Muslim. Sorry guys, the cats. I'm gonna tell you guys, these cats are crazy. They crazy. So they're Muslim. Professor Morandi, they disgust me.
In government, a ban on independent political parties, civil society organizations, trade unions, LGBT people suffer systematic discrimination.
LGBT discrimination? Iran is not woke enough, so we need to bomb the living shit out of it. Jesus Christ, bro. Come on, Piers Morgan. Really? Is that what we're doing? You're bombing Iran for women's rights and gay rights? Aren't there other ways to give them these rights? You think that now gay people in Iran are going to be like, I can finally come out of the closet and get all my rights? Is that how it works?
and violence, closing shops that have so-called improperly veiled customers. Authorities censor media, jam certain television channels, continue to block or filter mobile apps, social media platforms, executions, including those of children, torture. And
why don't you have those problems with Saudi Arabia, Piers? Why don't you talk about Saudi Arabia and the things that they ban, the apps that they censor, the websites that they censor, how the women dress in Saudi Arabia? Why are you talking about Iran as this evil Muslim country? Why aren't you talking about Saudi Arabia or any other Muslim country out there? What about Indonesia? Not cool with you?
Other ill treatment are widespread and systematic. State television can often air torture-tainted confessions, arresting and sentencing people who break fast during Ramadan. Anyone who speaks out protests against the regime can be subjected to the death penalty, flogging, prison terms, and other severe penalties. It doesn't sound like a great place for me to visit, with all due respect, Professor Morandi. So you can tell me that I'm a coward and I'm a liar, and I can tell you that you prop up, personally, you go on the airwaves and you disingenuously prop up and grotesquely defend a terrible regime, which
He doesn't defend the regime, bro. He criticizes Israel. The Iranian regime is what it is. What the fuck does Israel have any business in bombing these people, thinking that they're going to set them free? Okay? And like October 7th wasn't orchestrated by Hamas. Hamas isn't waiting for orders from Iran to decide what to do, bro. Okay? Is Hezbollah an Iranian proxy? Of course, does Hezbollah do a lot of things that are in the best interest of Iran, sometimes over the interest of Lebanese people here in Lebanon? Of course. Of course. No one's denying that. But that doesn't mean that Hezbollah is also not our resistance against Israel.
Is now getting, as many people see, its final comeuppance for constantly threatening Israel with getting a bomb and taking it out. And that's what this is about. You know it and I know it. And you also know that your regime has propped up the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas. It has been the octopus.
Base, the only people fighting Israel, the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. The only ones who have stood up to Israel. Beast!
With its tentacles of terrorism spreading all over the Middle East. So you can call me what you like, but what you can't do is deny what I've just said.
Robibi sends 20 seconds, says you are being rescued. Don't resist energy. Exactly. That is what Israel and America do. Hey, we're saving you. We're bombing you and also rescuing you at the same time. Don't resist. This is all good. Thank you so much for the donation. And N. Walker sends 3 Canadian dollars, $2.79, and says destabilization benefits Western powers. Exactly. They can prop up whatever figures they want now, get whatever they want, take the resources, no resistance to whatever the fuck they want to do. They can build whatever army bases they want, get everything approved.
You are a coward.
So you keep saying.
You are a coward.
That's all you can say.
They're gonna get them to sign the Abrams Accords. They're gonna try to normalize with Israel. That's what they're gonna try to do. And what a fucking classy guy. And good on him for calling Piers a coward. Don't let it go, Professor Morandi.
You are a coward.
So you keep saying.
You are a coward.
That's all you can say, isn't it? That's all you've got. That's all you've got. Do one of your smoke rings.
Bro, let him fucking talk. He's in a building that's about to get bombed. His internet is barely fucking working. Let him fucking speak, you rude fuck. Why would you invite him on your show to be a piece of shit host?
Help enable genocide in Gaza for months. You don't want to let me talk. You don't want me to talk.
I do, but if all you're going to do is call me a coward and a liar, then why should I keep listening to that? Pointless. It's what you've been doing on the airwaves for days.
Because you say nonsense.
Haram. His connection, like nothing's helping him. He can't get a word in.
What was nonsense about anything? What was nonsense about anything I said?
Everything, but you just rant on and you think this way you can convince your audience that while your allies are murdering Iranians, while your allies have murdered
your regime has been responsible for mass murder. Your regime has been responsible for mass murder.
Let me talk. You are afraid. You are afraid of letting me talk because you know that your narrative is falling apart.
Your narrative is that I'm a coward and a liar. Have you got anything else in your tank? Any other argument other than ad hominem?
Tweets a couple of weeks ago.
Ad hominem, fuck you, bro. I fucking hate Piers Morgan, bro.
You won't let me talk. You're afraid of letting me talk. You're afraid.
I'm not afraid of you, Professor Morandi. But you look to me like you're afraid because you know now that the game is up. Iran's terrorism game is up.
I'm in IR. I am in IR. I am in the Iranian radio television building, and it has been emptied because they say they're going to bomb this building. And I stayed here for you, and you are responsible for justifying these criminal acts. And those colleagues of yours in Iran who are true journalists who died today.
At least thank him for fucking staying in the building, Piers, you fucking asshole. He literally stayed there for you. Be like, well, I appreciate you staying there for talking to us while you're being bombed. Doesn't give a fuck. Just fucking petty as shit.
Their blood is on your hand. And
they're
you
not on
will
my
never
hands
escape
because
that.
I'm not
Just
part
like
of the Israeli
bomb
government
that fell
or the
on the children
IDF.
of Gaza. You are too cowardly to let me talk.
You're just talking nonsense.
You're a coward.
You're talking
You won't
nonsense.
let me talk.
If I was a
You
coward,
have
I
this
wouldn't have
show
had you on.
every day.
I wouldn't have had you on if I was a coward. But I knew what you would try and do. You try and do.
He's just speaking over him. He's not letting him fucking talk, bro. Fuck you. Hey, how is this watchable? You bring this fucking guy on, you don't even let him talk.
Do this with all the journalists that you talk to, and I'm afraid it doesn't work anymore. Your shtick doesn't work anymore. You defend the indefensible. You go ad hominem on every host you ever talk to. You were at it yesterday.
Bro, Piers, you defend the indefensible. When you try to talk about Israel and when you try to justify what they're doing, you are trying to defend the indefensible, you motherfucker. You hypocrite.
Today with a Sky News presenter, and I'm not going to take it from you. Sorry, just not going to.
I don't care. You're a genocide enabler. That's what you are.
And you're a terrorism
You have blood on
defender.
your hands.
You're a terrorism
You have
defender.
blood on your hands.
Yeah, you
All
defend a terrorist regime. That's what you do.
All the perfume of Arabia will never clean those hands of your peers. Kill. Keep on the killing. Keep on justifying murder.
That's what a line. All the perfumes of Arabia will not clean your hands, Piers. Damn, what a fucking line. What a bar he just fucking dropped, bro. What?
Defend a terrorist regime. That's what you do.
All the perfume of Arabia will never clean those hands of your peers. Kill. Keep on the killing.
Whoa, what a line. As you guys know, Saudi Arabia, they're known for their perfume, for their atar. He's like, all the perfume of Arabia will not clean your hands, Piers. Keep on killing.
Keep on justifying murder. Keep on demonizing Iranians and Palestinians and Lebanese. And keep on killing. Keep on.
I demonize terrorists. What I do is demonize terrorists. And the main
Destroy
fulcrum,
Lebanon and
the main fulcrum of
What a
terrorism.
line. God damn, bro.
You are
The main terrorism for terrorism,
You're an enabler of
which has been
terrorism.
incredibly
You're a
damaging to the
coward.
people,
You
to
are a
Palestinians,
coward.
to Lebanese, to Iranians,
You
has
are
been
a
the
coward.
Iranian regime.
You are a coward and an enabler of terrorism.
Okay, you've nothing else to say.
Hezbollah was
Professor
created
Morandi,
after the Israeli regime took Lebanon.
Professor Morandi, it's good to end with one of your
Hezbollah was created
good to end with one of your
after the Israeli regime.
good to end with one of your smirks, because they really play
invaded
well with an
Lebanon.
audience, I can tell you. When they see you smirking away, it really is a good look.
Folks, all our thoughts with Veronica. She sends 6 shekels and she says, here we go to the basement. Very scary, as you know, with a sad face. Veronica, we're thinking about you. We're all with you. Hopefully, you know, why don't you show some of your friends in the basement some do not worry? Actually, no, I think your neighbors are going to hate you. Don't show them what you're watching. Don't show them what you're watching. Do not show them what you're watching. Madamar sends £5. Remember Piers' old newspaper where he was editor, hacked, kidnapped, murdered girl's phone? What? He was the editor. He hacked and kidnapped his girl? What? That's fucking what? Veronica, everybody send some love to Veronica in the chat. It's fucking crazy, man. I never thought I'd feel sympathy for an Israeli. Look at me here, feeling bad, worrying about Veronica's well-being, folks. Am I alone in the chat? Are y'all feeling this weird, fuzzy feeling of concern for Veronica? Isn't it weird? Hope you're fine, Veronica. You know what I mean? We love you. And thank you so much for the support, man. Like, you're helping me get that fucking computer. It's crazy. God damn it. Making me feel bad for Israelis. What has this show done to me?
You're too cowardly to let me talk.
Yeah.
You're too cowardly.
Because all you've got to say, is to attack me. All you care about is attacking me. That's not talking.
You
That's
won't
not
let
an
me
interview.
explain anything.
Yeah.
You won't let me explain anything.
Oh, they hacked he was part of a newspaper that hacked the phone voicemail of a dead girl. Oh my God, bro.
You won't let me explain anything.
You don't want to explain. You want to just call me a liar and a coward and a genocide
Let me explain
enabler.
that
Have you got
Hezbollah
anything
invaded
else?
after Israel
Anything
invaded
else?
Lebanon and captured the. Yes, you are. You are lying.
Okay.
You are lying about your
All right,
rant was
Professor
all lies
Morandi,
about Iran.
thank you for the interview. I wish you a safe there. I do, genuinely.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for joining me.
I don't think so.
I appreciate it. I'm going to go back to the panel now. I mean, Matthew said, I've talked to Professor Morandi a few times, and I watched him on the airways in the last few days, getting increasingly...
All right, great having you. Great talk there. Thank you. Totally not a waste of time. Let the fucking man speak. He's being fucking bombed by Israelis. Let him speak. And even if he wants to do his shtick, let him do the shtick, bro. It's entertaining. I love his shtick. He's got a great, beautiful fucking smile. I love it when he smiles.
Angry watching him because he is just a ludicrous individual who comes out and constantly defends the indefensible when it comes to that Iranian regime and has very close contacts with the rulers of Iran. But, you know, it's an interesting thing that in between all the attacks he was spewing about me, the fact that he's sitting there now in a media building, by the sound of it, which he's been told to evacuate, this is getting very serious and very real, isn't it, for people in Iran?
Very serious. And he reminded me a bit of, I don't know, if comical alley.
Yeah, I was exactly going to say that.
It's just completely ridiculous.
Yeah, completely deluded.
Deluded and clearly shilling for the regime. And I just think of this incredible civilization that stretches back thousands of years with a GDP per capita of like $4,000. Israel's is over $50,000, a freer society, one that wishes to develop and grow and be prosperous, rather than to live in this medieval, religious, fanatical worldview. Is all the things that
medieval, religious, fanatical worldview. Okay, great. Yeah, more manufacturing consent to bomb these medieval barbarians who want to live in the past and don't like gay people and don't want freedom for people. And did I mention they don't like gay people?
You said there, Piers, were completely true about the way they degrade women and repress free speech and all these other punitive...
They degrade women. There's no free speech over there. Look at how they degrade women and don't let them show their ankles.
...measures that are just so awful to endure. One thing I'd throw in, though, is I agreed with the previous speaker on the panel who said that the Afghanistan war was a mistake. Would have been better not to have gone in. I think that's a fair counterfactual analysis. I actually was against the Iraq war too. But I think we should confront something that I don't think was confronted by the America First lobby, which is that if one agrees that Iran would like a nuclear weapon, as the Nuclear Weapon Atomic Energy Authority has said, 60% enrichment, getting very, very close. And if you also believe, as I do, that they would likely use it, then let's not pretend that America can stay out of this. Even a relatively small nuclear war would lead to a nuclear winter that would have an effect around the world of catastrophic proportions. It would affect farming all around the world. It would lead to famine.
Remind me, bro, who's the only nation to actually use a nuclear bomb? Oh, yeah, it's the U.S. So now you want the U.S. to get involved because, of course, you assume that if Iran gets a nuclear weapon, they're going to fucking use it. The only country here that is likely to use it is fucking Israel, bro. And the only country that has used it is the United States. So get the fuck out of here that if the Iranians get it, we know for a fact they're going to want to kill all the Jews. They're going to want to use it. So the U.S. has to get involved. This man, this fucking piece of shit is happy. He wants the U.S. to bomb his own country. What can you say about a motherfucker like that? What can you say about a piece of shit like that? Nothing. Khalas, let him. Let them bomb your country, ya khayyi. Shو بدي أقول لك؟ انبسط.
We can't allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. The idea that the counterfactual is staying out and allowing potentially a nuclear strike to occur would be catastrophic. I think we need to face up to that truth.
All right, Cenk, I mean, you were shaking your head throughout all that. I don't understand why you feel comfortable being such a defender of Iran.
I'm not. No. You see, that's total propaganda. Okay, so let's break it down one by one. Okay, so number one, when I see the Israeli ambassador earlier, he sounds like Baghdad Bob to me. Like Iran is the aggressor. No, Israel is clearly the aggressor. We all saw them start the war. Second of all, they say, oh my God, we're so worried about civilians. Israel always kills more civilians
than
their
motherfucker
opponents.
said October 7th. Look at sichtak bi'aydi, ya hamad, fucking dumbass gringo bitch.
All them start the war. Second of all, they say, oh my God, we're so worried about civilians. Israel...
October 7th. Bro, what about... Look, I'm not even going to respond. Fuck that motherfucker.
Always kills more civilians than their opponents, and by an order of magnitude. For example, Hamas, terrible. They killed 36 kids on October 7th. Awful, right? Israel has killed 500 times as many kids. So this guy, pretending to be an Iranian expert, is telling us about how much he's concerned about women. Israel has killed 20,000 women in Gaza. How about their rights? How about the rights of to those women to stay alive? How about all the civilians?
Exactly. They act like feminists. Oh, we want to help gay people. Oh, we want to help the women. Oh, we want to help the kids. Well, stop fucking killing them. Stop fucking murdering them. That's a pretty good way to fucking help them, don't you think?
Criticizing.
So when I see you guys...
Yeah, but Cenk, why are you criticizing?
No, I'm not avoiding it at all.
But Cenk,
I'm not avoiding it at all.
But
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Why are you ducking saying criticism of Iran?
It's a simple question.
I'm not ducking it at all. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? It's simple. I don't like the Iranian regime at all. Okay? I'm an atheist now. They would kill me first. I got no interest in the Iranian regime. But the Israeli regime would also murder me. So I want you guys to be fair and balanced. So don't tell me that the Iranian regime is super dangerous to its neighbors while Israel actually attacks all of its neighbors, including Iran. So tell me about how dangerous the Israeli terrorist regime is as it attacks civilians again and again.
For being a journalist, you dumb fucking bitch. You fucking piece of shit. I fucking hate this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? I fucking hate this guy, bro. I fucking hate this guy. And honestly, people like that, bro, don't deserve to be alive on Earth. People like that, bro, that cause the death and the words that they use that encourage other people to kill other people, bro. A guy like that doesn't deserve to breathe, man. Like, what a motherfucker. In Minecraft, what a motherfucker. What a piece of shit, bro. What a waste of air. What a waste of air. What a bad human being that is only here to try to get you to hate someone else and try to get you to want to bomb them. What a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a war. I don't want any fucking wars, bro. This guy literally wants you to bomb Iran and wants you to be happy about bombing Iran. Why? You fucking piece of shit. Look, شكلك وسليلتك وبيك وامك واختك وولادك. Everyone in your family, fuck him.
You say, well, Muslim lives don't really matter. That's why you guys don't count the Muslim civilians that Israel murders on a regular basis. So look, if we think the Iranian regime is bad, and it is, it's just like Saddam's regime was bad. Hold on, Ben, let me finish. So the North Korean regime is terrible. The Chinese regime runs concentration camps for Uyghur Turks. Those Turks are my people. The Russians invaded Ukraine. These are all terrible regimes. That doesn't mean we have to start a war with them. And it doesn't mean that America has to fight Israel's war for it.
Well, America isn't fighting it at the moment. At the moment, America
fight your own war.
But America
not
is
not $1, not one troop.
America is not involved in this war at the moment. Ben Ferguson.
Yeah, it's amazing he just said that Israel would kill him. I asked him 7-8 times.
Nugzolotl sends $2 and says, yes, they hate women and gays in the Western world. Yeah, they actually do, bro. Women in America can't get abortions anymore. They fucking hate trans people in America. They're rolling back DEI stuff in like all sorts of stores. Disney, Target, Walmart. No one wants to hire gay people anymore. Trans people are constantly under attack in America. People are trying to take away trans rights, women's rights. Like, what the fuck are you complaining about? Iran doesn't have women's rights. Blah, 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 blah. You're fucking taking them away. You're becoming Iran, you fuckers.
It's not true.
What would they murder you for? What would they murder you for? And I said over and over again, you said that Israel would murder you.
They murder journalists more than any other country.
So you're telling me...
What is he talking about? Sorry, the murder to Saddam.
Let Ben respond.
And it doesn't mean that America has to fight Israel's war for it.
Well, America isn't fighting it at the moment. At the moment, America
fight your own wars.
But America
not
is
$1, not one troop.
America is not involved in this war at the moment. Ben Ferguson.
Yeah, it's amazing he just said that Israel would kill him. I asked him 7-8 times.
That's not true.
What would they murder you for? What would they murder you for? And I said over and over again, you said that Israel would murder you.
They murder journalists more than any other country.
So
they murdered more journalists than World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and Afghanistan combined. They murdered more journalists than all other conflicts in the world combined. They murder Muslim Americans, 12 of them, and America does not defend American citizens in the occupied territories.
All right,
Israel murders Americans all the time, and America never defends us.
This is the problem. When you say things that are this egregious, everyone watching around the world is going to look at this and say, this guy is an idiot because you didn't answer the question. You said that Israel would murder you right now.
ChatGPT, look it up. Israel has murdered more journalists than all other conflicts in the world combined.
I'm asking you personally. You said they would murder you now. I'm not going to let up on this. What would they murder you for? You're telling me right now that you think Israel wants to find you and kill you right now where you are.
Look, what an idiot. What kind of fucking dumbass question? That's not what he means. If he goes there, they'll fucking kill him. Yahmar. Yahmar. Donkey. Idiot.
No. If I go to Israel, you said go to Israel. If I go to Israel, Israel would almost certainly murder. IDF already wrote my name on a bomb. It's not like they're hiding it. And they murder journalists more than any other country. In fact, all the other countries combined. That's a literal fact. And they murder Muslim Americans, 12 of them. And America, they didn't object under Biden. We don't object under Trump. Because you can murder American citizens only if you're Israel. The terrorist state of Israel is allowed to kill Americans. And what do? We have to give them another $311 billion? We have to start another war for them like Iraq and spend $2 trillion? Why do the American people owe Israel hundreds of billions of dollars? Why do we owe them more wars?
All right, let Ben respond.
Dead American soldiers.
Let Ben respond,
anything.
Don't talk over each other.
Give me the $300 billion back. Give me the $300 billion back. You owe us. I don't owe you. And Ben, you're supposed to be an American, not an Israeli. Look at me and Jack. Me and Jack don't agree on anything else. But we agree that we should serve America. I say Americans first, not Israelis. Stop the wars.
Let me say this.
Look at MAGA.
Okay, let's go. Fuck yeah. Hey, I mean, technically, I pay taxes. You know what I mean? I have to pay fucking taxes. I don't want any of my fucking tax dollars to bomb me. I'm bombing myself, essentially. You fucking assholes. I still have to file for taxes even from here in Lebanon, folks. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Here's what
Let
I
Ben
said.
speak, Jake.
Number one,
Steve Bannon all said stop the war.
All
He
right.
didn't ask for war.
Ben, let him.
Here's the
let
left
Ben
and the right
speak.
uniting, saying we don't want war.
Jake, let Ben speak.
Number one, my foreign policy has changed drastically from after 9/11. I don't think we should go into Iraq, Afghanistan. If I could have a redo, I would change what I thought about that. I've said that very clearly for years
This
now
is your
on
redo.
TV. But no, I said I've changed my foreign policy. When you make mistakes and you see what happens, it's okay to change. It's called growing up, all right? You learn from your mistakes. I'm not in favor of invading America into Iran. So let me say that first so you put words in my mouth. Second thing, I've seen 2 hostage videos today. One from the guy that's in Iran right now and you. And I don't know why you act like there's a country that is running terrorism in the Middle East, Iran, who's chanting death to Israel. By the way, death to America. They chant death to America too, okay? And why you act like they're not a threat to the Middle East and to American interests over there.
Bro, oh my God, bro, what a fuck this guy's making me. It's 1:42 a.m. by the way, folks. Haley D sends $10 and says the U.S. kept a woman on life support to incubate her unborn child. She wasn't very far along when she went brain dead. Now her family is strapped with the medical bills and a NICU baby. Oh my God, bro. That's so fucked. What a fucking horrible story. Oh, that's so heartbreaking to hear. And thank you so much, Haley, our queen, for being so generous. We love you so much. What a sad story. You see? And then you Americans have the nerve to fucking berate us, Arabs, about women's rights and stuff. Well, maybe not all Arabs, but like, Muslims in general.
That's why Donald Trump said yesterday.
Jack,
that's
you
why
think
Donald
they're a
Trump said
threat to
yesterday.
us?
If you come after, yes, I do. I do think Iran's a threat just because they helped kill American soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. They trained the damn terrorists.
No, I
that
asked
killed
Jack. I
people
asked
that
an
I know
American.
personally. I know people that died serving their country in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I know people that died because of Israel. I know people that lost legs because of Israel. I know people that lost homes because of Israel. Stop fucking yelling, bro. Stop fucking trying to yell and pretending to be something. And you sent your friends that died, came here willingly. They came to the Middle East willingly as soldiers. If they died here, that's their problem. I'm not supposed to feel bad about it. You think I'm going to feel bad that your friends came to the Middle East and died to fight in wars that they were not supposed to be in or they were not supposed to be fighting, bro? I don't give a fuck, you fucking bitch-ass bitch.
I just went to Fort Bragg and went to where the 82nd.
Yeah, because you sent them to die on behalf of Israel.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jank. Yeah, you fucking sent them, bro. You want me to feel bad for them, you fucker? What about my white friends that died? Yeah, good. What the
I'm not screwing around with this. Do not. Yeah. I know they train the damn terrorists.
No, I
that
asked
kill
Jack. I
people
asked
that
an
I know
American.
personally. I know people that died serving their country in Iraq and Afghanistan. I just went.
They shouldn't have been in Iraq and Afghanistan, bitch.
Went to Fort Bragg and went to where the 82nd.
Yeah, because you sent them to die on behalf of Israel.
On a plaque. I'm not screwing around with this. Do not tell me that
you sent
Iran
them to
did not
die
help
on
kill
behalf of
Americans.
Israel. Ben, I had these debates with you on the Iraq War. I had these debates with you on the Iraq War. You were 100% wrong then. You're 100% wrong now. You sent American kids to die there on behalf of Israel then, and you want to send American.
What an idiot, bro. They're trying to convince you that Iran is a threat. Iran, folks, a country that doesn't even have one nuclear weapon. They don't even have one nuke. They're a threat to America, the country with the most fucking nukes. And what? Iran's gonna make one nuclear weapon and fucking eliminate America, bro? They're gonna fucking nuke America and then what? No one else is gonna nuke them in response? Are they fucking idiots? Dude, Americans are the dumbest fuckers on the fucking planet, bro. I'm sorry. Like, Republicans, white Republican Americans are the dumbest motherfuckers on the fucking planet. No fucking way, bro.
Let me bring in. All right.
Jack, I disagree
let me bring
with you
in
on
Jack,
everything
please.
else, but
Let me
as
bring
an
in
American,
Jack.
speak up here.
Let me bring in Jack. Jack, final word to you.
Well, certainly they're a threat, but in the sense that they're a threat because the United States is currently sending the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier from the Asia Pacific, from Westpac, over to the Middle East. So, by the way, this is the first time that China now has more aircraft carriers in the Pacific than the United States. The first time it's ever happened. Now you're going to have those 5,000 sailors on that aircraft carrier, plus the other 5,000 that are on the Carl Vinson.
Advisory, I'm sorry. That advisory says that was mean. It was mean, but I'm feeling passionate right now. It's almost 2 a.m. These fucking racists are trying to justify more killing of brown people.
On that aircraft carrier, plus the other 5,000 that are on the Carl Vinson, potentially sitting within range of everything that Iran has. This is exactly what I've been talking about. So the threat to American lives is, and I think it's right there. I think it's what you're saying. It's because America is getting involved in a war that's not ours.
Can I ask a question of Jack and Shank, just quickly? You say it's a war that isn't yours. If you were convinced, let me ask you a hypothetical, that Iran was close to getting
you guys always do these hypotheticals.
If Iran was close to getting a nuclear weapon,
what is?
As the UN inspectors say, let me ask you a direct question. Do you then think, if America was the only country that had the capability to degrade and destroy Iran's nuclear capacity, would it then be in American interest to intervene?
So should America go around and blow up all the nuclear sites that aren't American? Should we attack China? Should we attack Russia? Should we attack France? Should we attack the UK? All of them? Is that your contention?
So you would.
Should we attack Israel?
Okay, so it's a consistent position. You would permit. You think it's in America's interests?
No, you asked me.
You would permit. Oh, you would permit. Who said that it's America's job to permit? Who gets nukes? You fucker. This fucker's from Iran.
Yes, you're playing this game. You're trying to Kafka trap me right now. You're trying to Kafka trap me, and you're trying to say, well, if you agreed to this hypothetical that I asked you, then you must also. No, I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing that game right now. You're saying, in a hypothetical situation, should America attack someone? To your point, they do not have weaponized nuclear capability or uranium that is at the point of weaponization at 90%, which they could use for an atomic bomb. They do not have that. They have 60%. So you're saying even if they had 90%, which, by the way, doesn't sit with the DNI Gabbard's assessment and the entire assessment of the intelligence agencies that Iran is not currently developing weapons of mass destruction. They're only enriching uranium. So you're saying, oh, well, that's totally fine. You've never even asked me what I think. You're trying to play this game where you
really,
put words
I've been asking myself.
I'm
not trying to play any game. I've been asking myself the question a lot over the last few days.
Because
if I may just finish.
I'm not playing any games. I'm asking myself this fake niceness, this fake trying to be. If I say things like this with that kind of accent, I sound smart and actually look like kind of a nice guy. No, bro, you're fucking sitting there, manufacturing consent and fucking justifying Israel bombing your own people. Ya wate, ya kelb, you low-life piece of shit. An insult to your people, an insult to Iranians. Fucking sitting there, justifying America. And begging America to fucking bomb your own country to stop you from developing a nuke and saying that your people, you don't trust your own people to have a nuke? Donkey motherfucker.
Report that Iran had been assembling into...
I'm the same as Matthew. I read that report. And what was crystal clear from that report is that there have been constant lies and obfuscation from the Iranian regime in relation to the nuclear program.
From the Israeli regime.
Clearly, they believed that they were being lied to in their ability to report properly about what was going on. They also believed that uranium enrichment was now at a level where it was quite likely and possible
Piers Morgan raises
that
my
Iran
blood
could
pressure,
have
bro.
a full nuclear bomb. Imminently, weeks, months, whatever that period may be. And in that circumstance, I took a view, in a way that I'd be very critical of the Israeli government for what's going on in Gaza at the moment, but I took a view that if you are Israel right now and you have Iran with the atomic agency saying they are getting perilously close to being able to create a nuclear bomb, that is a time where you may decide that is a time to stop them. And that appears to be what they're trying to do. I've got to leave it there. We've run out of time, guys. I'm sorry.
I was asked a question. This is the same lies that Israel fed us about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
All right.
The same hypotheticals. Oh, what if Iraq has weapons of mass destruction? Oh, here's fake intelligence telling you that Iraq has weapons of mass destruction.
This is not fake intelligence.
This is how Israel lied us into a war before. And then they always do hypotheticals like, oh, what if the Palestinians say that we don't have a right to exist? No, the Israeli cabinet has voted that Palestinians don't have a right to exist.
Okay.
All their hypotheticals are what Israel actually does. What if Iran has a nuke? Israel actually has a nuke.
Okay.
Israel is the most
fucking jank fucking cooking. Let's fucking go, Unc, squeezing in every little bit of argument that he can before Piers shuts this shit down. Let's fucking go, jank. We got you today, bro.
aggressive country and the most likely to use a nuclear weapon. We have to get out of Israel's control.
Okay, I've got to leave it there. I've got to leave it there, guys. I've run out of time. I've run out of time, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to leave it there. I appreciate you joining me.
Not $1, not one truth.
We've gone well over time, but I appreciate you all joining me. Thank you very much. Well, joining me now is Mehdi Hassan, the editor-in-chief at Zeteo News. Mehdi, great to have you back on Uncensored. Last time you came on recently, we reached agreement over what is going on in Gaza. I concurred with your view that
we're going to finish the Mehdi Hassan interview, and then we're going to call it a live stream. It's already been 3 hours and 18 minutes. It's almost 2 a.m. Let's do 10 more minutes here, and then I'm going to call it a night. And then tomorrow, I'm going to try to do another live stream, most likely solo live stream. Then later this week, we're working on a Zionist celebrity tier list. We did the anti-Zionist celebrity tier list last week. It was super fun. For those of you who missed it, you can watch the live, the replay of the live. We took all of the anti-Zionist celebrities and made a very fun tier list. It was a lot of fun. It was me, Karine, and Nour. We're going to do it again, but with Zionists. This Friday or Saturday. We're going to try to do it on Friday. It's going to be fun. Tune in live. Let us know if there's any celebrity that we missed. We're going to do Zionist, folks, so the biggest pieces of shit. The Michael Rappaports, folks. The fucking, who else is a Zionist? The Quentin Tarantinos, folks. Those pieces of shit. We're going to have some fun with that. The Noah Schnaps.
Now crossing almost every line. It wasn't just my view.
Zachary, this channel does not have a Twitch, at least not yet. But no Twitch yet, Zachary. Thank you for joining us, Zachary Stevens.
The view of former Israeli prime ministers, of allies of Israel, and so on. But we have a separate situation here. And I'm just curious, I've seen what you've been saying publicly about this Israel attack on Iran. If you're Israel and you see that report from the Atomic Agency, which appears to suggest that Iran has been lying, obfuscating, covering up, not allowing proper inspections and so on, and now appears to have reached 60% enrichment of uranium, which is the next stage it can reach, where now it can be imminent, it can be within months, that it could potentially get to nuclear power. Can you at least, without agreeing with it, can you understand why Israel has felt threatened by that report?
Oh, without agreeing with it, do you understand why? Bro, no, if it's not fucking true, we're not going to fucking play hypotheticals. Sure, hypothetically, if my crazy neighbor had a nuke and he was going to get it in a month, would I be scared? Sure, but it's not real. So why are you even fucking talking about it, bro?
So, Piers, thanks for having me back, and I'm glad you started by asking about the IAEA report, because I know you brought it up with your panel as well. And I just want your viewers at home to be clear, because you described it accurately a moment ago, what the report says. I've read the 22-page report, came out May 31st, declassified. But on Friday, I was disappointed to see you tweeting about, you said the report exposes an imminent nuclear threat from Iran, which could justify a preemptive strike. What we saw on Thursday night from Israel was not a preemptive strike. It was a preventive strike, which is illegal under international law. It's what George Bush and the neocons claimed the Iraq war was against Saddam Hussein, which you and I opposed, rightly so. And that IAEA report does not expose an imminent nuclear threat. It says what you just said it says. It says that they haven't been cooperating very well. It says their level of cooperation has been, quote, less than satisfactory. It says some of their technical answers about their program have lacked credibility. It says they've impeded some of the inspectors. It says that they were working on some kind of
Let me add, actually,
program pre-2003, which is what US intelligence has also said. Those are all bad things, Piers. You and I can both agree those are bad things, and Iran should not be doing those things. And the IAEA board voted to say they're in breach of their obligations. But that's not an imminent nuclear threat. The report does not say Iran poses an imminent nuclear threat. Your tweet was wrong on Friday.
Well, I think it's as I just said. When it says 60% enrichment of uranium, it's the next stage that somebody who wants to create a nuclear bomb, right? So imminent, look, what do I mean by imminent? As I said in the panel, it can be weeks, months, a year, whatever, but they've reached a stage of enrichment.
Can't, Piers.
But they have the capability to take it to another stage and create a bomb.
Yes. So let's find more agreement between us. I agree. That is capable.
I'm reading your recommendations in here for Zionists. We got Simu Liu, Adidam, Amy Schumer. She's there. Noah Schnapp. Yeah, Tarantino is Zionist. Tarantino lives in Israel. He's married to an Israeli, and he lives in Israel. And he went to an IDF base right after October 7th to encourage the IDF soldiers to kill as many Palestinians as they could. Well, he didn't say that, but he did visit IDF soldiers. Ooh, also, what's her name? Haley Steinfeld. Fucking piece of shit. Haley Steinfeld. You see, I'm already having fun with that tier list, folks. I'm already having fun. Jerry Seinfeld. And we actually, ideally, we need a lot of non-Jewish Zionists so that we don't get accused of doing an anti-Semitic tier list, because a lot of them are going to be Jewish, folks. You know what I mean? But there's also a lot of non-Jewish Zionists. So Quentin Tarantino is on top of that fucking list.
Right? They have enough highly enriched uranium to build up to 9 bombs, I believe. They have 400 kilograms of uranium.
So that is an imminent threat if it's in the wrong hands, right? We can agree on that.
No, it's not.
But why not?
No, because unfortunately, having a civil nuclear program is totally fine. Having enriched uranium is fine. The issue is if you weaponize it and have a weapons program. And Tulsi Gabbard, no friend of radical Islam, Donald Trump's director of national intelligence, said in March that the US intelligence community's consensus view is that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, does not have a nuclear weapon, does not authorize a nuclear weapons program. The IAEA appears in that report, you must have seen the line in their summary, said there are no credible indications of an ongoing, undeclared, structured nuclear program. Even the IAEA says there's no nuclear weapons program. Their boss, the IAEA chief...
Take it easy in the chat. You're sending way too many names, and I'm feeling like I have to write all of them, but I can't. So, okay, Bill Maher. I'm going to write a couple more, and that's it. Sacha Baron Cohen, Bill Maher. Okay, I'm just going to write Borat, Bill Maher. And that's it. No more names, folks. Bill Maher. We already have a bunch of names. I'm sure we'll find them online and stuff. You can keep sending them, but I can't keep reading because we're never going to finish.
Piers said last week, you cannot attack nuclear facilities in Iran. So, no, it's not an imminent threat. And under international law, Piers, this is the key point. If a weapon is a year away, you cannot say we're under imminent threat. That does not give you a right to self-defense. Otherwise, everyone in the world would go around just bombing people. You and I oppose Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We agree on that, right? Putin claimed that Ukraine would one day attack Russia with NATO support. That's why I'm doing it. That was a bullshit argument. You and I rejected Putin's bullshit argument in Ukraine. You and I have rejected the Israeli bullshit argument now in Gaza. You don't believe what they're saying about Gaza. I don't know why you're believing them on this when you were rightly calling out the bullshit from the UK and the US.
Well, he had to reset Mehdi. Piers can only say negative things about Israel for like 8 days in a row, and then whoop, then Netanyahu starts a new war, and then Piers forgets what he was saying. He's like, oh, Israel must defend itself. What's happening? What? Where? Who?
In 2003, over Iraq, Saddam Hussein was not an imminent threat, and Iran was not an imminent threat, and Israel attacked them illegally last week while there were nuclear negotiations going on. Piers, one last point. If Israel cared about stopping a nuclear weapon, you would go back into a nuclear deal that prevents Iran from a weapon. And guess who they killed?
Paul Rudd. Where are you guys getting these names from, bro? Taika Waititi, really? What did he say?
Killed on Thursday night, not just generals, Piers. They killed Ali Shamkhani, the lead nuclear negotiator who was supposed to be in Oman yesterday with the Americans and who went on NBC a month ago and said, we're very close to a deal, we're willing to give up highly enriched uranium.
Oh, yes, Nuxolotl. If you can compile the list based on the chat for Discord, that would be fucking awesome. Would love you for that.
Say, didn't he? Trump did say, but hang on, on the deal, Trump said, look, you've got 60 days, right? And Israel attacked on day 61. In other words, they gave Iran the chance to negotiate. Well, that is what Trump said.
Well, Trump's a liar. Why were they meeting in Oman on Sunday then? Well, if there were only 60 days, why were the Americans supposed to be meeting yesterday?
All I'm saying is, it is a fact, the sequence of events.
Answer the quiz.
Hang on.
It's not a fact, though, is it? It's not a fact.
It is a fact that Trump said 60 days.
Were they not?
It is a fact he said 60 days.
But that's a lie, because but that wasn't a 60 days, otherwise we bomb you. That was Netanyahu. By the way, let's be clear.
I agree.
Netanyahu wants this war more than Trump.
I agree. I'm just saying that Netanyahu did wait. He did wait till day 61 of Trump's 60 days, get a deal done.
No, because why was there a nuclear negotiation scheduled on Sunday between the Americans and the Iranians, which is now not happening? Who benefits from that? Netanyahu. The hawks who want a war. They don't want a deal. Otherwise, you wouldn't kill
unless you think that Trump tacitly wants this to happen, which he might well do.
Maybe. I mean, I don't try and mind read Trump. You can. You know him better than me. The man's a liar. He's erratic. He's unhinged. Who knows? I mean, he claims to be anti-war. Remember all that bullshit? I came on your show last year, Piers. How many times did I hear people telling me bullshit about Trump being anti-war? He went to Michigan and said, I won't get involved in a war in the Middle East. And here we are now. Several hundred people dead in Israel and Iran. Completely preventable conflict, done with Trump's blessing. And as I say, if you're worried about highly enriched uranium, blame Trump, right? He tore up the nuclear deal in 2018, Piers. In 2018, Iran was enriching uranium at what percentage? 3.67%. And the IAEA said, yep, we verify it. We have no complaints. We verify that Iran is in accordance with this deal. And Trump tore it up. And today, 60% highly enriched uranium, 400 kilograms. That's on Donald Trump. We had the JCPOA.
But aren't you just, if you don't mind me saying, aren't you just explaining very articulately why Israel has got so twitchy about this? Gone from 3% to 60, as you said. That's not a small...
But who did that, right?
You can blame who you like. You can blame who you like, but the way you described that sounded to me like you were presenting a fast-moving...
blame who you like, but I mean, the way you're describing it, yeah, it's Trump's fault. Trump created a problem, and now Trump wants to bomb it to solve it, and now he's like, yeah, but I mean, I don't care how it happened. Fuck you, Piers, bro. Fuck this shit. Oh my God, fuck this.
Imminent threat?
No. Okay, it's a good question. Let me answer it. No, what I was presenting was...
How's Keanu Reeves a Zionist, folks? Don't tell me, actually. Don't tell me. Just put it on the list, and I'll find out later. I don't want
to. It worked. Trump and the Israelis tore up the deal that worked. Now Iran is definitely, you and I have already agreed, that they have potential to be closer to a bomb today than they were in 2018. So the solution is not then to go to war and increase the chances of Iran rushing for a bomb. The solution is to go back into a deal, to negotiate an agreement. Piers, just for your viewers, there are only two ways. Every military expert agrees, every US general agrees. There's only two ways to stop Iran from having a nuclear bomb. Number one is to invade and occupy the country and destroy every facility yourself. Number two is to have an agreement in which Iran agrees to stop enriching uranium at 60% or 90%, right? Those are the two options.
Actually, I don't agree with that.
If I don't agree.
There's actually a third option, because the third option is doing exactly what Israel's doing now, which is using air power, controlling the skies over Tehran, and using intelligence gathered by Mossad, apparently, reportedly, and using specific intelligence to target specific commanders, scientists, and nuclear sites. I mean, that's the third option.
Well, that's not a third option, because it doesn't stop the nuclear program. All it does is delay it. And in fact,
have you spoken to any military people? Be honest, Mehdi. Have you spoken to any military... I've got two former British Army colonels in my family. I ran this past them earlier. Both of them thought this was justified, right? Who are the military commanders you've talked to who do not think this is justified?
Admiral Mike McMullen, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under George W. Bush, said there's no way you can get rid of Iranian nuclear program without boots on the ground. And by the way, you know who said on Friday? Israel's own national security advisor said on Friday, there is no kinetic solution to this. Air power cannot do this, right? Because some of their facilities are underground. Because scientists who killed can be replaced, right? You cannot end Iran's nuclear program via bombing. And by the way, Israel tried this before in 1981. They always hold it up as some great example. They bombed Saddam.
Of course you can, Mehdi. Every problem can be solved with bombs. Isn't that how America does it? Bombing your way to freedom, baby.
Nuclear facility in Osirak. Everyone who studied that since, nuclear scientists, weapons experts, say that actually that didn't delay Saddam's bomb. It accelerated Saddam's interest in nuclear weapons. He actually launched a covert nuclear program at another site over the next 9 years till obviously the Iraq invasion of Kuwait, right? So put yourself, Piers, you asked me a question at the beginning. It was a great question. Put yourself in Israel's shoes. We should always have empathy for whoever it is, enemies, allies. Let me ask the question back to you. Put yourself in the shoes of an Iranian official sitting in Tehran today who looks at a map of the region and sees Israel with nukes, Russia with nukes, Pakistan with nukes, India with nukes, nuclear-armed America next door in Iraq. Wouldn't you want nuclear weapons? I'm against nukes.
Yeah, but if you're the regime...
Sorry, guys. It's 2 a.m. I'm like way too tired to even give any commentary right now. My ass exhausted.
If you look at...
But Mehdi, you wouldn't dispute...
Would you not think it's rational
well,
to have nukes?
My response would be this. You wouldn't dispute that Iran's tentacles have been fueling, for a long period of time, Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, and I presume you wouldn't also dispute that the tactical attack on Hezbollah through the pages, 3,000 of them targeted in a very precise
terrorist
way,
attack.
that has led to Hezbollah basically throwing the towel in and saying we're not going to get engaged in this war with Iran, which is a very significant moment in this whole war, I would argue.
If your question is, has Israel degraded Iran's supports abroad, its proxies, 100%. But that's irrelevant to the rightness or wrongness of this. I'm asking you to put yourself in the position
all those proxies want to kill
Iranian
Israelis.
Government.
Right?
Almost time for bed, folks. 1 more minute in this video.
So that's why I think that Israel has a right.
Let's not get... Well, as you've agreed, Israel's doing much of the killing right now. But let me just ask you this. Again, Ukraine gave up nukes, got invaded. Saddam Hussein gave up nukes, got invaded and executed. Gaddafi gave up chemical weapons, got invaded, raped and killed. Again, if you're the Iranians, are you not looking at this thinking, this means we need nukes? I would rather not give them an incentive to go get nuclear weapons. I'm anti-nuclear weapons for anyone. So I don't want Iran to have nukes. But the best way for Iran not to have nukes is not to attack them. That makes countries want to have nukes more. It's just rational to go, oh, the countries who have nukes like North Korea, they don't get invaded. So why give them an incentive to get more nukes? Why not actually have a weapons of mass destruction free region? You know which country does have nukes in the Middle East? Israel, in violation of UN Security Council resolutions. You know which country doesn't allow IAEA inspectors into the country?
Let's
Israel.
fucking
You know which country
go.
hasn't?
Yes, thank you. And Piers fucking shuts up because he knows he's wrong. He just fucking sits there and fucking nods like a fucking dumbass.
Signed the NPT, unlike Iran, Israel. We should talk about Israel's nuclear weapons, which actually incentivize others in the regions, not just Israel, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, to think about nuclear weapons of their own. I'd rather not have more nukes in the Middle East with anyone.
Mehdi Hasan, great to have you back on our Sensor. Thank you very much.
Loinks, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. That little shot of Maki. I'm going to be doing what Maki's doing in a bit. Okay, I want to sleep. I'm going to maybe get a little bite to eat. Join us a little bit later this week, folks. I'm going to be doing a couple of more live streams, probably another solo live stream. There's this vlogger from Canada who spoke to those 2 Lebanese girls, and they were telling him there's too many gay men in Lebanon. Well, he has a full Lebanese vlog. It's like 40 minutes long. I think I'm going to react to that. That could be fun. There's an H3 episode tomorrow. Let's see what they talk about. Maybe I can react to that. There's like H3 talked about politics and the LA protests. Maybe I can react to that tomorrow. Probably going to be another solo stream tomorrow. I'm getting my new computer. I'm going to set that up. Maybe I could do a little video showing off the new PC, folks. Also, the Zionist celebrity tier list coming at the end of this week. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely patrons who are supporting us on Patreon. Boom, let's close this up. It's been a long night, folks. It's been streaming for 3.5 hours. Patrons, let me open up that Patreon list. No, wait, don't worry, Dreadful. There's so much content that even if we do talk about H3, you know, you won't even know about it. Got to your patrons: Zidan Mujabir, Dominic Selzer, Daniel Nechle, A Rose for You, and EU Watson. Thank you so much for being amazing. Got your patrons. Superhero patrons like Jordan M, Celine H, Joey Daboul, Rhea D, and Ziedetum Diri. Blonde patrons like Bahar, Slim, Yorgis Velasquez, Kelly, Elby, and Nicholas Tutuinia. Oh, sorry, Tutuanu. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you guys would like to support us, consider doing so on Patreon or becoming a member of the channel or gifting a sub or sending a super chat. But if you guys don't have to do any of that to support us, it's more than enough for you guys to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and join us for another live stream this week. I'm going to be live tomorrow. We're going to be live most likely Friday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 more days. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try to post some kind of a schedule. We love you guys so much. I'm going to try to put some time codes for these, at least general time codes for the rewatch. News, Piers Morgan, and more. Thank you so much for everybody who donated tonight, who was generous in the live chat. We appreciate you guys so much. This is all going to help me build the greatest streaming PC, folks, that I'll also be able to use to game, give you more content. Thank you to people like Haley D, Nogzalatul, Marmar, Veronica H. Song. We hope you're safe right now. Robibi, N. Walker, Desiree Serhan, Sunflower Dragon, Artful Decadence, Tetrafun, Thomas Jerome Newton, all of you generous, beautiful souls, we love you so much. Bob Vorn, Bahar, and No Name, and Dreadful Utopia. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for being great. Maki, say goodnight to everybody. Oh, his little face moved when I said Maki. Maki. Maki, good boy? Maki, good boy? Let's show some little Makuki. And with that, folks, I bid you good night. I'm going to eat and get some sleep. And as always, Natuti, you want to say bye? Oh. As always, folks,